Hello, and welcome back to Roll the Bones. My name is Rob, and as ever I'm joined by my wonderful players Mike, Matt, and Dom. Our view of this story has primarily been concerned with the events transpiring in the West. Tonight, however, we look to the north. Nurendel, a frigid, unforgiving realm, a hard land, home to hard people. It is crowned by mountains that make up the kingdom of the dwarves. That kingdom is known as the Undercroft. It is said that the first dwarven kingdom was founded by Moradin himself, god of stone and craftsmanship, the Stone Father, who dreamed of a people to take on his image and to continue his craftsmanship into the mortal world. From stone, the dwarves were sculpted, and Moradin's dream gave them life, and it continues to inspire their works today. The Undercroft was awarded its name by the first of the Deep Wardens, intrepid warriors that have waged an eternal war against the ever-reaching evils of the darkness below. It makes the Undercroft a place of death to the forces of the Underdark. Others argue the name was chosen due to the myth the dwarves later rest in the mountains, return to the stone they were once made from. Whichever story you believe, that is where we delve now. The Rift is the subterranean no man's land between dwarven civilization and the horrors below. It is deep in this world of darkness that we find a dwarf, though he is not native to the Undercroft, rather an outsider. Mike, I'd like you to describe your character, what they look like, and what they are feeling as they move through the darkness of this strange world beneath the world.
As dwarves go, this one is maybe not as muscular or as strong as others. He's not much of a smith, shall we say. But his time from being outside the Undercroft has led to a more leathered, rough complexion. Short, dark brown hair and a shortish, messy beard. They sit atop a dwarf wearing shirt, trousers, nondescript clothing, lived in. The only thing at his side is a small crossbow. Doesn't really look dwarvish in nature, except for a few crass runes scratched into the side of it. And at this moment, there is both intrigue, but anticipated fear.
You are wise to have fear in your heart. and it is a fear that does not go unnoticed by the dwarf that stands to your right. This is Bardo Blackpick. And you know him to be the leader of the Deep Wardens. Elite warriors, as mentioned before, tasked with the unending war beneath the world. Bardo Blackpick gives you a nod and says, I suppose this is quite different to anything you're used to, Topside. He's taken to calling you. Bit different from the sunbathing you're used to. And he gestures to the long, narrow walkway that you meander through in the dark.
Don't mistake me not for a child of stone. I can see where we are. I can see where we go. Our heritage is the same.
And we and others fight for a common cause. And it's then that our vision moves up from the pair of you, and behind you there are dozens and dozens of Deep Wardens moving in disciplined marching order, interlocking plate, rolling vast Thundertop Forge shields held forth as they move. It is at this stage that the company comes to a halt with one raised fist of Bardo's hand. And he looks around and he gestures. He gestures to your character, Dom. Please explain what your dwarf looks like.
So, my dwarf is in stark contrast to Michael's character, is the very image of a classic dwarf. Head to toe, full plate armor, barely any skin on show. You can just make out the eyes through the helmet atop his head and the long, tangled beard that hangs below the helmet. He does have a dwarven war axe in hand, a shield in the other, and peculiarly wrapped around the armor is sort of piping. It almost looks like piping, maybe a sort of snake sigil. It's quite hard to tell. And at his side, a tartan bag with sticks sticking out of it. But yeah, the very picture of a dwarf.
And as our vision moves past the very picture of a dwarf, there stands at his side another faithful of the Undercroft. Matt, could you describe your dwarf as well, please?
So, yeah, he's wearing a helmet that it's quite a short helmet, and it's bound in leather, and stuffed in the side of it, he's got a pipe that he keeps ready to smoke at all times. And he's a little bit stout for a dwarf, but his beard is just pristine. It's just really well kept, and his armor is really well shined. And he wears sort of thick glass apparatus on his face, like we would say glasses, but sort of the dwarven version, sort of Coke bottle glasses. So his eyes appear much larger than they really are. You would say that he's perhaps anally retentive a little bit about his belongings and is a bit of a dwarf military nerd.
It is Bardo will gesture as well, he's already gestured to halt, but then he will say time is short. But if it is your wish to become quickly acquainted, we have a few short moments. I shall go on and look for and listen for word ahead. For then we delve deeper. And he gestures to one of his other commanders and comes and goes off into the dark. You may introduce each other.
Well,
Just see the name appear, but
sorry, I've not actually written mine down, so I've just got to quickly.
No, that's okay. Well, why don't we start then with Mike? Let's go. How do you introduce yourself? What name do you go by?
he'll turn to the two of you and just give a nod and just say, "It's Runic. Runic Hajerson." There we go.
Runic Hajerson. Nice. My dwarf will quickly decant a little bit of dark-looking ale into a mug and say, "Oleg Beardstein, to your health," and take a deep glug, beer pouring into his beard, frothing throughout. I explain the sort of the tangledness of it. He's not a very careful drinker.
My dwarf will take his pipe and hit it on his thing and light it up whilst pushing his glasses up on his nose. It's Norbik. Norbik Adelstoft. Forgive me, but Runic doesn't sound like a dwarven name.
Aye.
And yes, I'm going to try and keep that up.
I was wondering if you were going to do weird voices, Matthew.
Really stupid. As your son, it doesn't sound like a family name I've ever heard.
No, as Runic pulls a tankard from his belt, except he gives the tankard a knock against his knee, and you just see ale just seems to just appear in the tankard.
Oh, that's a pretty trick.
It's a prize. Now I'm Surface Clan. The Azure Sons are a clan who are born on the surface.
Right.
I don't have an Undercroft name. Or a stone name for that.
And your lot do fancy little tricks like that, do you?
You all like that?
I do that. My lot are too stuck behind the church and the old ways. Cheers.
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 Do you have your own drink, Norbek?
Red Bull.
I've not heard of that brand of ale before.
Basically just like oil. It's fuel.
It's got a Minotaur on it.
Nice.
Nice.
Actually, it functions as the spell fly because it gives you wings. Copyright.
Is that canon?
If we get a sponsorship deal, then yes, that is canon. Oh my god, we could do with it. So you're able to sort of break the ice, and to Norbik and Oleg, yeah, this particular dwarf, as much as he's like been keeping himself to himself, there is he does seem like a bit of an outsider, a stranger to you in some respects, but you're all kin under the earth. You're all kin in service to the Deep Wardens. Norbik and Oleg, you are here to prove yourselves to accomplish great feats in the Rift, and should you do your service, then you will be awarded with stones of your own, which will entitle you to wear the rank of the Deep Warden. But it is as you continue to share stories and enjoy your drinks, there is a rumble that moves through the earth. You can each give me a listen check, but you each get plus 2 thanks to Stone Cunning.
Oh.
Because you're feeling
Classic.
this through the stone.
Oh, yeah, that, yeah. Yeah, land. Land clappers.
Oleg.
Oleg, you feel this and react before anyone else does. Perhaps, as you said, you're a messy drinker. Ale leaks either side and drips into your facial hair, and then you hear a deep, low horn rumble. This is a signal from the Deep Wardens, the signal you've been waiting for. Upon a vast rock, you see Bardo Blackpick, your leader, has returned. He says, On! We must hurry! It is close!" You double time, moving through the darkness, meandering deeper and deeper into the rift, into the place where no light shines. But alas, there is a light. A strange, mesmeric, purple gleam appears to swim before your vision. Following orders, you move without question at double time until at last you find yourselves upon a vast bridge-like structure. You can each give me a Stone Cunning check again.
Is this a spot plus Stone Cunning?
Yeah, so
Cunning?
this this would be a spot plus Stone Cunning, yeah.
I said the wrong letter there.
Hey!
Oh, Novik.
Where's my glasses? They zoom in.
So
You've got those like extra ones.
ding, 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 ding. Yeah, one of your lenses falls down, Norbek, and you see that this great structure of stone surely must have been fashioned by Greybeard himself, a dwarf of a great legend. And it is here that the stone, the Brothers of Stone, the Deep Wardens, form up. And you see it, Runic. You see the thing that has haunted your dreams. You have seen the thing that you were commissioned to bring the Deep Wardens to.
Honesty.
Far below the earth, in a place where no light touches, an eerie glimmer seems to radiate from a massive gate forged from stone. But a stone that is unknown to even the dwarves. "Form up!" says Bardo. "Form up!" It is as he is yelling that you can hear a boom, boom, boom. A thin layer of mist-like energy appears to ripple across the surface of this gate. Boom, boom. Every ripple is caused by a great stone dropped into a pool of water. And then you can hear the sounds of some force moving. rushing. "Form up!" says Bardo once again. "Form up and lock shields! We are the Deep Wardens, and our line is like stone! Boom! Boom!" The sounds are going closer and closer. "Our Orgrosh are like diamonds! Boom! 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 We hold this pass against anything that comes through that gate!" The gate seems to shimmer and the light from it appears to tear. Something is making its way through. Boom! 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 For Moradin! For King Draskor! For the Undercroft! Kaz-Kaza! The Deep Wardens roar. Roll initiative.
Oh boy. Oh, Oleg's got quite a roll on him, I must say.
Nothing's changed.
Classic Mike. Oh, God.
Not changing anything yet.
Just give us some. Just shout me out your rolls if you wouldn't mind.
14 for Oleg.
7 for Runic.
And 5 for Norbek.
Okay, so sorry, 5 for Norbik.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He was shouting "form up," and I feel like we're stood out the front. I don't like it very much.
Doesn't seem very fair.
Maybe we could back up slightly.
Maybe we could go behind the Deep Wardens.
Well, as
right.
you have been
Behind the shield wall.
you have been commissioned to stand by Runic's side, who
Oh, great.
is leading this expedition. So you are honor bound to be the van, as it were, on this particular occasion.
Surprise.
Sorry, I ordered that wrong, so I had to write it out.
Marvelous.
So, okay, and Oleg.
Aye.
Okay. The gate fractures, tremors, and bursts forth. You hear them before you see them, but the sound is completely recognizable. Hundreds of clawed feet skittering forth towards you. It is one of the primary tactics of the enemy to send forth famine and disease. Vast,
Shit.
rat-like creatures with brains that bulge from out of their skulls rush towards you. The cranium rats skitter forth in a formation, but it is not they that go first. Oleg, what do you do?
Let's do something weird. So Oleg is gonna rush to Runic's side. I assume that's you in the middle,
Yeah.
slightly further forward. And he's gonna say, "I think you might need some cover, son." And then he's gonna turn slightly, and those pipes that are winding around his body blows into an opening on them, and there's a as he does so, as his horn of fog goes off. which emits a 10-foot square of fog, essentially, of smoke that I'm going to place just directly next
if
to
you're
me in
able to
front of
place it, that's
Runic.
fine. Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you able to do that? Are you good with that?
I can just draw in it if that works.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
Great. I'm just going to quickly check that that's a standard action, not like a crazy full
that's
round.
all
That would be
good.
weird, though. There it is. Should have properly read this before I.
No, it's okay.
10-foot square next to the Hornblower. Yeah. Cool. Just here.
So, like a that's actually pretty good.
Yeah, that's it.
Like a tactical smoke bomb thrown forth to the enemy. It immediately divides the charge of the cranium rats as they skitter forward. Is it all on your turn, Oleg?
Yeah, I think it doesn't specifically say that that's a standard action, but I can't imagine it being anything else. And also, I can't do anything else. So.
We now move, sadly, to all of the cranium rats that move like ferocious animals that they are, the size of massive dogs, equal to that power as well, just smash against the line of shields of the Deep Wardens, one after the other, snarling and biting. A weird, strange energy appears to surround them when they strike as well. But the dwarves stand firm. The battle is kind of abstracted, you might notice, so there's going to be rats slamming into them as well, but the ones directly in front of you are the ones that we're concerned with. So we are going to be focusing on the ones that are in front of you. So that means this one is going to rush in here, and this one rushes in here. And I should say, that's you. That is Norbik. What is your armor class as two of these vicious cranium rats skitter towards you?
Oh, good. Flat-footed is the same as normal, so I haven't moved, is all.
Yeah.
18.
18. They both just bounce from your defenses. What is it like as you hold fast against this wave of vermin?
I reckon he's probably smacked one away with his elbow, and the other one's gone to attack, and he's just put the haft of his weapon in its mouth and just sort of pushed it back again, ready to strike.
Amazing. I think these two here...
2 seconds.
That's cool. Won't be able to see you, so we'll be forced to go round here, and this one will go here. Oleg, what is your armor class?
My armor class is a mighty 20.
And what is it like as you defend yourself against this wave of vermin?
So as he's blowing into the pipe at his shoulder, he also raises his shield and just smashes it into the teeth of the rat that comes at him.
Another two flanking from the sides, rushing you. Neither of them hit either, so as you're batting that one away, the others are desperately trying to claw at you as well, but are unable to break the stone of the dwarves. We now move to Runic. It is your turn. This obscuring mist has been erupting in front of you, and now you are ready. What did you do on your turn?
I imagine I wouldn't have done anything prior to this. Like, any prep, so I'm going in completely naked, so to speak.
Haha, brave.
Phrasing.
He takes his pants off.
Put your clothes back on.
No, I'll go. Okay. So, he lifts up his crossbow, but his actual actions, you see his hand make a gesture, and there's a dull thum. And with that, you just see something reverberating across Runic. But that's all he does.
Very good. So as Runic prepares some plan or other, we then move to Norbik.
Norbik will go for a... I have no idea how this works. I've not done it. 3-point power attack on this one here.
Yep, so you are reducing your attack by 3 to add
Attack by
that to your
3.
damage, I believe.
Unless it's a two-handed weapon, in which case it's 1.5.
Which
It
it
is
is,
1.5.
I believe.
But you round down, so it's just an extra 1, but it would be 4 extra points of damage then. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. So yeah, on that guy, pow, 18.
The one to your left,
Yes, the one to my left.
that is a hit, yes.
Lovely. Okay, so there's 2 different damages. I'm assuming it's the first one.
Yes.
Oh, because you can use it as a double-ended weapon, but I'm not doing that
Yeah.
because it's too complicated. So I'm just going to go for the standard damage of 1d8 plus that, and then add a 1, 2, 3, 4 extra. 20 points of damage.
What is it like as you raise your Urgrosh aloft and bring it down, killing the cranium rat in one?
So Norbit looks a bit unassuming. He's clearly quite young for a dwarf. It was one of his early missions. But given that he's a bit of a job's worth, he's obviously just very committed to his work. And as he lifts the Urgrosh, you kind of get a glimpse that he's a lot more toned and muscular than he initially seems. And yeah, he's kind of pushed it back initially on the attack and then just swung it up over the top and just brought it down in a full arcing slam into the ground.
And as you do that, its mate will try and avenge it. It strikes 19 to hit, which I believe hits Norbik, is that right?
It does. Yeah.
It does 3 points of piercing damage as it bites into you.
Ouch.
This one is going to rush around here and is going to do its best to attack you, Runic. AC
22.
is a miss. What is it like as you defend yourself as this rat just bursts through the fog that was obscuring you?
It does, and it goes to attack him, and it looks like there's obviously nothing around Runic, but as its teeth and claws go to grab him, it's like he bounces off something, and you just see an invisible shimmer manifest very briefly as like purple amethyst full plate before it shimmers away.
Amazing. It bounces off with a hiss as another one, its pack mate, looms behind you with a free 5-foot step to get the flanking bonus. But rolls atrociously and also bounces from your defenses, that shimmering power simultaneously, it almost looked like. And then these two here will strike at you, Oleg. AC, sorry.
20. Although they've got flanking, one of them has.
One of them does, and that one was going to hit anyway, so one lands a bite. The 2
Ouch.
piercing damage, Oleg.
Excellent.
That was the cranium rats. Runic, these 2 rats have just like slammed into you. Brains that burst from their skull appear to be quivering with some mysterious energy.
Runic, seeing he's flanked at this point, takes his crossbow, points it into the ground, using that as his focus, and unfortunately, both the rats are just going to take a fair chunk of damage.
Okay.
It's the same damage against both, so they both take one of the lowest rolls I can do. 4 points of damage.
Oh my word. Okay, well what is it like as whatever attack happens against them?
There's a almost like
So unlucky.
it is unlucky.
I just read
That
it's 1
sucks,
above
mate.
minimum damage. That's
Yeah.
really unlucky, mate.
There's a shimmer of just force that just seems to erupt from Runic as he uses the crossbow as kind of like a focus. Shooting it into the ground seems to form a force to come out both ways, hitting both of them, but unfortunately, minimal damage. minimal water damage.
Minimal water damage. Great reference. Pretty great though that you're still sort of like fending off against these rats. Amazing. Norbik, it's your turn. Sorry, not Norbik. Oleg. Wait, no. It is Norbik. I'm so sorry. Have I missed you, Oleg?
I believe you may have done in
I
that case.
apologise. So in that case, you'll get your turn now, and when we go back to the top of the round, I apologise. Take it.
That's alright. Oleg will wield his axe at the rat directly in front of him, and I'll throw a little power behind this one as well. I'll take 2 off. Just 22 hit.
22 hits majestically.
Have some of that, you bastard. Says Oleg. For 14 points of damage.
14 points of damage. My goodness me. What is it
Right
like
to the cranium.
as you cranium this rat into pieces?
So he, one of them has leapt on his shield, and he just bats that one aside and swings the axe straight down, cleaving the distended cranium of the rat in front of him in twain.
It dies squealing. Oh my goodness me. Norbik, it's your turn.
Go on, Norbik.
As I was saying, I reckon I'll just do another 3-point power attack against the next one. So he's and then up and over, and he's going the other way. Oh,
That is a hit.
We should never go back, Matt. These characters are fucking ass.
yeah, seem to just be rolling better. Oh,
There we go. That's more like it.
13.
Still more than enough to smash it into the middle of the next Dwarven holiday. What is it like?
He was just trying to be a bit more careful this time. Yeah, so he does the power attack on the first one, which sort of turns it into ketchup, and it makes it a bit of a mess. So he tries to just be a bit more sort of precise with this shot and uses the spike on the end of the Urgrosh to just stab it in the top of the head and withdraw.
I love it. Amazing work. And we are back to the top of the round. Oleg, you are now back to your turn time. What do you do?
Cool. He'll turn to Runic and be like, anytime you're ready, son. And swing his axe at the other rat that's attacking him. And I think he kind of saw how much effort Norbik was putting into his blow. So he's gonna up the ante a little bit again and put 3 points of power in, a little bit of competition between the two. 21 to hit.
21 is a hit.
I fucking better be.
That's the one directly in front of you, yeah?
We're slightly to the right, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Slightly right, yeah. Gotcha.
So he takes 17 points of damage for Maximilian damage.
What is it like as you destroy the cranium rat?
I think this time he puts the axe on thing's head and sort of pins it to the ground as it's like squirming, and then just stamps on the head of the axe,
Nice.
decapitating it.
Incredible.
Oh, like a sort of reverse curb stomp.
Yeah.
Nasty.
I love it very much. And with that, then, it is the rats that are upon Runic. So the first one is right next to you, just going to attack you. What is your AC?
22.
Bounces from your defenses again. The other one goes for you. Exactly the same. Just can't get through that impenetrable barrier that you seem to have risen up. And it now makes it your turn.
Rather than split his focus, he turns to the one behind Oleg. And it's like he's pulling something from his head as something just seems to manifest in his hand. And then he throws the shard on this cranium rat.
Ooh.
So I need to make a touch attack. Well, range touch. 10 on a touch. Oh, let's start off as Silasta started.
10 on the touch is a miss, unfortunately.
That's alright. Silasta started poorly. Runic's got to start poorly. They've got to build.
And finally we go to Norbik.
Novik will see this. He will rush across. He will say, "Well, I can see why they assigned you a guard." And then we'll swing his axe at the one right in front of him. Can you do a power attack when you move? Or does he have to stand still to do a power attack? I can't remember.
You
As
can.
far-
Yeah, you can do it
as
anytime.
far as I'm aware, you can do it whenever you want, yeah.
Well,
It
if
affects
it's an
any
option,
attack.
I'm going to take it, so I will continue with what I was doing. Kashmak!
21,
Ooh,
that is a
ah.
hit.
Beautiful.
Sweep in.
Maximilian damage.
Oh my god. What is it?
Oh,
Well,
damage.
as you
As
smash the
this
hell out of
time
that.
he swings the axe around in an arc in front of him, and it kind of smacks so that the blood goes away from him because he doesn't want to mess up his shiny armor.
Ah.
But it probably gets Runic.
Luckily, he's got armor that the sort of imaginary armor that it would splatter on first, so it might just drip off rather than land on his clothes.
Absolutely.
You'd hope.
Incredible.
I'm
That
awful
one
sorry about that.
smashed into the middle of next week. We are now back to the top of the round, and the gate appears to ripple once again. And this time, even more savage foes appear to burst forth from the gate. You see that they too appear to be sort of canine in stature, but as they loom closer and closer, it seems that their entire bodies are made of brains. A pack
Oh,
of
no.
massive intellect devourers, known as the Mastiff Hybrids, burst forth from the gate and join the initiative.
Oh god.
Oleg, it's your turn.
Well, seeing them coming up, I feel like the rats are the least of our worries. So, Oleg will, he looks at the pipe for a second that sticks out of his armor and he's like, no, something else, I think. And he gets his satchel that is tartan and has sticks coming out of it and places one of the sticks in his mouth and starts pumping the bag.
Oh my god.
And it's a pipe, it's a bag pipe. And this is the pipe of the sewers.
Ooh.
So- it's a random thing that I found, and I was like, I'm just going to give him a load of magical musical instruments.
Okay.
Go away. These pipes appear ordinary, but if the possessor learns the proper tune, you can attract 1d3 rat swarms if rats are within 400 feet, which I'm assuming, since we're underground, there's a decent chance.
Wow, so you have rats yourself.
Yeah, but for each 50-foot distance the rats have to travel, there is a 1 round delay. And the piper must continue playing until the rats appear, and when they do so, the piper must make a DC 10 performance check.
What the hell?
Yeah, I don't have any ranks in Prom, so it could go very poorly, but I thought it'd be funny. So
Okay, what size of the swarm of rats, just so I have them ready for when they do appear?
rat swarms, I think.
Rat swarms are medium.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
They take up a medium square.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're going to be ready in how many rounds? Sorry, that just when they're
It
close.
depends how far away they are. Yeah,
Oh,
and it's 1d3. So if you want me
listen,
to,
I'm going to say they're literally right around the corner. What's the saying? You're never 10 feet away. So they'll appear right next to you. How many swarms was it? Just the one?
d3. So
Oh, roll a d3
One.
then.
1.
Well, that's handy because I put one. Okay, let's have him there. There we go.
And if they appear immediately, I've got to do a perform check
Yeah.
to see if I can control them or not. Otherwise, they'll probably attack me.
What was the DC, just so everyone knows?
It's only 10, but that's a 50-50 chance, and I've got -1 on the roll. That's a 5.
So you summon a swarm of rats that is immediately hostile to you.
yeah.
I love that
Just
very
don't, they
much.
didn't like your music at all. They've just come to complain about your music.
They're literally all critics. They've got
Little Karen
pens and yeah, they've got Karen rats. Yeah. Love it.
Your music's too loud.
Oh my goodness me.
We've
Although
got baby
there,
rats.
you do have control to move them, but regardless, they will be hostile to everyone.
Do you want them to appear right there?
Where do you... No, they'll appear next to that pillar. Let's put them by the pillar. So they swarm up from the side there and make it there. They will act on your initiative, I will just say, to keep things simpler.
Okay, well, it is their turn then in that case.
It is their
So let's click on Rat Swarm, see how far they can move. So they can move 15 feet. 5, 10, 15. So they will approach me in an attempt to attack me, but luckily can't quite make it. I guess they could run, couldn't they? They could double move.
Hang on, does that mean, do they have to attack you?
No, they're-
Oh yeah, they're hostile to me.
Well, yeah, they're hostile. Well, they
I
may
thought
change
it
their
meant they
minds
just
later.
weren't controlled by you and were hostile to everyone.
Nope, just me.
They
Wow.
are summoned forth, and now
They hate the music.
They hate
Wow,
music.
wow,
and they
that
hate
is
you.
that's
Oh,
worse
dear.
than I thought. Oh dear, dude.
So, with that then, anything else on your turn? I dread to ask, Golag.
No. What I will do is, I'll tell you what. I'm going to stop playing the bagpipe.
Stop playing the bagpipes, damn it! This one remaining cranium rat will take its turn now, and it's going to strike at you, Runic. Your AC again was, sorry?
22.
22 is a miss. It bounces once again, appearing furious that it cannot get a morsel from you. It is now your turn, Runic.
I will take a 5-foot step back into the cranium rat and attempt to throw another shard at the one in front of me. So it's another ranged touch. 20 on a touch.
20 on a touch is a hit.
Nice. It does 19 piercing damage.
What is it like as you destroy the cranium rat?
Yeah, Runic got a bit flustered, but just composed himself this time, took a step back, and this time he threw this shard of crystal through the cranium as it just cut and pierced right through its brain.
Amazing work. Forgive me, I don't actually see where your character token is. I've...
I think you might have trodden on a rat.
I did, yeah. I took a step back into the
Let
rat.
me move him out of the way, shall we? There we go.
Myself off.
So he gets blasted away by your attack as well. Very good. Anything else on your turn, Runic?
5-foot step. I did that. Nope, that's it.
Norbik, what do you do on your turn?
Sort of turn my head to the two chaps that are fighting alongside me. Point my Urgrosh at the intellect devourers up ahead. I shout, "Well, they're not exactly going to feast on this lot, are they?" And then I do a charge on this guy here. A charge gives me a +2 to my attack, I believe.
-2.
And a -2 to my armor class. I will do a standard attack this time. just to test the water. 25.
25 is a hit. You smash into the Intellect Devourer hybrid.
We've gone maximum damage, minimum damage. 9 points of damage as I charge.
A valiant charge. And you smash into it for
And
9
again,
points.
smack across it, ready to bring it up and over for another one.
It is the turn of... No, I'm so sorry. This should have happened as they arrived, so I shall do it now. There is a cry of loose. There is a thoo of dozens of dwarven arbalists and crossbows loose as you charge Norbik. So I want you to imagine all these crossbow bolts sailing over you and slamming into your target as you charge.
Oh, or bugger me!
Oh my word! It's possible.
Oh, look at me.
That is, I'm not going to roll on the table though, so we would just say that that is a crit. Oh my word. So the one in the middle just gets pelted with boom, crossbow bolts. The others take a rudimentary amount of damage in comparison. That was their turn. Now the Intellect Devourers will return their attacks. This one, ignoring you, just is going to run straight ahead for it and get to the dwarven lines there and just smashes into them. This one, because it stood directly in front of you, it's just going to do a full round of attack with 4 of its claws. Norbik. AC.
18, 17, 16.
Because, yes, you just did the thing. So, yeah, minus 2
Good
to
charge.
AC. That is 2 hits easily. And the other 2 attacks. 3 attacks land. My god. So,
Ouchie!
a vicious,
Oh boy.
vicious raining of claws comes slashing down at you. You take, bear with, all 17 points of slashing damage in total. This thing absolutely just savages you, Norbik.
Yeah, just a little bit.
This one is demised. It's unalived. Unalived, sorry.
Unalived.
This one is going
Unalived.
to rush
not on
towards
TikTok.
you. Oleg, and just smash into your defences. 20, is it?
Aye.
Bounces off your defences. This one is going to rush here, but as it does, it appears to just be going for a flanking maneuver. Before it stops short, I need you to make a will save for me, please. Oleg.
Well, you say that is not my best attribute. It's not my worst, but it is certainly not my best. Why can't I fucking paste? Never mind, I'll type it in. 12.
You take the full amount of damage. You take 13 points of psychic damage that blasts into your mind.
Oh. How much was that? Sorry, say again. 13.
13 points of psychic damage, yep.
Okay. Cool.
That is the Intellect Devourer's turn. We're back to the top of the round. Oleg.
So he stopped playing the bagpipes, which means the rat swarm dissipates, thankfully, and doesn't immediately add to my worries. And then he will turn his attention to the Intellect Devourer in front of him. So he's going to swing his axe. Going to do a wee power attack, I think. Let's take 3 off that. 23 to hit.
23 is a hit against the Intellect Devourer. You smash it with your Dwarven War Axe.
So plus 9. 13 points of damage.
Oh my word, that's incredible. Against number 4, that one is. Oh, hang on.
Take that, you big brain prick.
What is it like as you kill it? Already weakened by the hail of crossbow fire, you destroy it. What do you do?
So I think he he does a stupid move to counter the brainy move, and he literally just jumps and just like body splashes this thing with his axe in between his body and the intellect devourer to put as much weight and steel on this thing as possible, and it just splats on the floor.
Don't know if you meant that pun. Did you mean that as them doing a brainy move?
Yeah.
They made a brain.
Sure, yeah, let's say I did. Yeah, I meant it. Yeah. What a clever guy.
Amazing. And you absolutely demolish it. Fantastic work. That was Olug's turn. Because of the Cranium Rat's utter defeat at the hands of the Deep Wardens, we now move automatically to Runic.
Oh. Right. 15. So Runic will move around the mist from that charge for the time being. Yeah, I'll go to there, so he's still a bit of defense from that one. And he sees the intellect devourer that ran through to the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, not too concerned about the rats, but this one, he again seems this time pulling something from his mental focus. He seems to make a long kind of ectoplasmic strand of fire that he puts in as a makeshift bolt into his crossbow and fires it at the intellect devourer.
Amazing.
So it's a range, huh?
Roll it up.
19 on its touch.
On the intellect devourer's touch is a hit.
Excellent. So this is an energy ray with fire in it.
Ooh.
For 32 points of fire damage.
Oh my word. What is it like as you eviscerate the intellect devourer hybrid?
Yeah, this one, it's just... Again, he loaded this ectoplasmic bolt in, he took aim, and then just fired out this makeshift energy ray, but fired it from the bow, and it just causes every bit of it just to start just engulfed in flame. It's reeking in fire right now.
Incredible. It's viscous, bubbling liquid is all it is now, and there it just disintegrates into a fleshy puddle. Congratulations. Anything else on your turn, Runic?
No.
Norbik, it is your turn.
She's taken a chunk of damage there. A big old chunky chunk of damage. And would very much like to return the favour. So we'll go for a 3-point power attack.
Oh, 3-point power attack. Roll it up. Roll it up.
Sounds like something else there when you say it like that, isn't it?
20.
Yes.
Let's have it. The power attack smashes into the intellect devourer. Roll it up.
16 points of damage.
Oh my word. What is it like as you just
Nice.
smash it to pieces?
It's just kind of a... that fucking hurt! He just loses it for a minute and then regains his composure and like wipes his glasses with his thumb before refocusing on something else.
I have to say, you guys are doing much better than I anticipated. This is great. I love it. That was Norbik's turn. Yeah, that one's been demolished there. You hear a reload as the arbalists and the crossbow dwarves stacking crossbow bolts ready for another volley. One intellect devourer remains, I believe.
Aye. Hit me in the brain.
That was Norbik. Yeah, we're back to the top of the round, so... No, he needs to act. So this one is going to just rush you, Oleg, and is going to just make a single vicious claw attack at your AC.
AC 20.
Whiffs it totally. How do you defend yourself as this thing rushes towards you with his vicious, bulging mind?
Bulging mind.
And nothing else.
I think, because it's coming at him with his mind, Oleg will just stick his head in the way, and his helmeted noggin just blocks the blow.
Amazing work. Apologies. So that means that now we are back to the top of the round. And the gate appears to shake and rumble. You hear over the din Bardo's voice saying, "Here we go, lads! The big one!" And then you just see a horde evaporate out of the gate before you. Please make a dungeoneering check for me, please, the three of you, if you have it.
I've got some skill in this.
Oh,
6.
Ignore me.
21.
21 for Norbik. Anyone else got
Norbik?
anything?
27.
27, okay.
Oh, nice.
Not 66, but...
Shame.
It's a shame. You're gonna wish.
It was
Gonna
66.
wish yeah. You're gonna wish you didn't make this check. Because
Bugger.
emerging from the gate, they come.
Oh, fuck off.
Holy shit.
For they have sent forth the pawns, and now the power players arrive before you. Those that got high rolls know what these creatures are. Stories have infected the lives of the dwarves forever. For long have they feared what lurks in the darkness, and now they arrive as proof. Illithids, the mind flayers, are here. But not alone do they stand. For pouring out of the gate too are other creatures.
Is that a fucking beholder?
That is
two,
right.
two beholders.
Mate, I would have a problem if we were up against one mind flayer.
Yeah, do you know what level you made us, Robert?
No, I don't remember actually. So you see
It
that
was level 33, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure it was
two
level 33.
beholders just burst through, and you just see immediately go to work. Just eye beams just blasting down upon the Deep Wardens. Some disintegrated, some turned to stone, returned to the stone of Moradin. And they are not alone. For that was such a good roll. You also understand what these are.
What the shit?
As aboleths begin tearing through the fabric of the gate as well. Hideous psychic cries just echoing across the rift.
Michael, how long did you want your new character to last?
I don't think we're ever actually going to meet him.
That's okay.
I thought this was just a one shot this week. Sorry. So with that is their turn. We're now back to Oleg.
Oleg's gonna shout to Norm, "Get back to the line!" As he sees him well ahead of the others, and then he's gonna have to try and get rid of this last brain dog. So he's gonna do a 3-point power attack. 21 to hit.
21 to hit is a hit indeed. You smash the brain dog.
18 points of damage. That's pretty nice.
I've just realised if there was a band of adventurers that was made up of intellect devourers, cranium rats, and mind flayers, they'd have to be called the Brain Trust.
Oh, yes.
So that was a hit, sorry, and that was a massive amount of damage, more than enough to smash it into pieces. The final intellect devoured is devoured by your war thirst. What is it like, Olung, as you smash it to bits?
So he's just... I think he realises how desperate it is at this point, and so as he's shouting, he's just sort of hacking in to this brainy thing. And it's just a bloody mess, like grey matter flinging up into the air, whatever it is that is in brains, spurting out, sort of spitting out sort of spinal fluid or whatever it is.
Amazing.
It's just a mess. It's a bloody mess.
Bloody mess. I love it. With that, it is now Olug's turn. So that was Runic. It's Runic's turn. What do you do, Runic, as you see this unearthly force of the darkness rise up?
Oh dear. Right. As a move action, you can almost see like light seem to move into Runic, like very brief, as if like a very brief vacuum around his head is just absorbed, just a quick bit of power. But he takes a step back. No, he doesn't. Yeah, that was his move action. He absorbed it in. He lifts up his offhand and he just gives it a sort of a wave and a wash in front of him, and you see for a moment a round shield just appear, and then it seems to hover in front of him before it turns invisible.
Nice. Anything else in your turn?
Nope.
Okay. Norbik. You get a
thank
front
God.
row seat.
Thank God I go.
Fucking run, mate!
Yes, shaky.
You dwarf.
Tactical withdrawal.
Good call.
Has he killed this one?
Yeah, that one's dead.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I should have
Okay,
put a
good.
cross on him. I do apologise. Yes, he's goner. He's a
So
goner.
yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He will withdraw, and as he does, you'll see. Everyone will see that he's quite badly wounded. He's significantly badly wounded. So he'll do a double movement, can reach the thing, and we'll just be shouting for the clerics.
The clerics.
I'm in need of a cleric if there is one, if you don't mind. This is my guts appear to be hanging out.
Some, but they are also in the battle, so you'd have to find one, but that's all good. Okay, so I'm guessing then that is Runic, not Runic, sorry, that is
It's Norbik's
Norbik's turn.
Yeah.
How much did you just move, sorry?
Double movement.
40. Is that 40?
40.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I looked at the wrong token. I do
1,
apologise.
2, 3,
Yeah.
4.
No, that's
5,
all good, it's all good.
6, 7.
I looked at the wrong
Yeah,
one.
I was just double checking.
That means it is now the Arbalist's turn. Pomoradin Kaskala! The crossbow bolts sing towards the Mind Flayers. Not anywhere near as effective as against the Intellect Devourers, which is not helpful. Crossbow bolts slam into a few of them. Okay. You're just seeing the Mind Flayers sort of like open their terrifying talons, aiming at the line of dwarves. The aboliths just begin sailing overhead, monolithic whale-like shapes in the darkness, occasionally being lit by the blast of Beholder's eye magic. Oh boy. This mind flayer up here decides he wishes to manifest somewhere. And instead can just cruelly slither along what look like tentacles, like oozing from beneath its armor. It reaches out a hand, and I need the three of you, please, to make a will save.
No.
Is it a spell
God.
or spell-like ability?
It is, yes.
All right,
Oh, I should have got a bonus on that
I've
then.
got a tiny bonus.
I
it's only a
rolled a
tiny
1
bonus.
there, so it's not going to make any difference.
Ooh, 18. I rolled a 14. It's probably still not going to make any difference.
18 as well.
Sadly, none of you make it. There is just like a rippling concussive blast. Boom! There's that. Like, just buzzing in your ears as this detonation occurs. Runic, can you roll me 3d4, please?
Sure. Eight.
Oh, God.
The three of you are stunned for 8 rounds.
What?
Drop my weapon, then drop everything we're holding, and just stand here. For 8
Which
rounds.
sadly means that as the battle around...
Is it like that bit in Lord of the Rings? They're like, ah!
It's the best comparison I think I could make is the surprise attack on Osgiliath when all the orcs are charging in and they're completely overrun. There's nothing they can do,
Yeah.
and that's exactly what we're seeing here. More intellect devourers just start like erupting from the gate, and the mind flayers, the primary attack force here, converge. First is Norbik, this terrible creature, just moved towards you, and 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's Runic.
That is me.
Oh, for God's sake.
Norbik's
Well,
back
one
here.
is going towards you as well.
You're all getting it, so
You're all getting it, yeah, exactly.
Bloody do.
don't worry.
Move myself towards you if you like. I don't mind. Bring it on.
1, 2, 3, 4. Tentacles just go bum 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 bum. Your brain is extracted through your face. Runic, you can only watch.
Was that me?
Yes.
No staves or grapple checks or.
No, well, you're out for 8 rounds.
What, to hold your brain in?
Oleg,
Well, you have to
another
grapple
one
check to actually
descends
extract the
upon
brain.
you. And the same. 4 tentacles land upon you. And then nothing. Runic, you're watching as this gate appears to blaze into overpower at this point. Fractious cracks of purple energy begin rupturing into the ground. You turn around and you look at Bardock, and Bardock is screaming, "Remember! Remember! Remember!" And he gets taken out by another mind flayer as one grabs hold of you and its tentacles just suppress you, Runic. And then there is nothing but darkness. Darkness is all you see, Bogrum and Ansel. You still stand upon the brink, but all is deathly quiet. The only thing that appears to be making any noise really is the caller in the darkness that has appeared to begun orbiting the abyss next to which you stand. And moments before, your comrade in arms, your friend, the snow elf, Silasta Faluna, was utterly surprised and already injured with his battle with the caller, was mortally wounded by the gargoyles you have just defeated. Your friend plunging into the darkness that you look upon now. And I ask, what is it that you do?
I think there's probably just audible, ringing silence after the sort of echo of the fall and the fight, the sort of very brief skirmish that happened afterwards, and the mad scuffle. Mogram's on the floor, leaning against the wall, sort of one knee up, one leg outstretched, holding himself where he's been just gored and is just pouring blood everywhere, and is sort of hesitating to heal himself because he's just sort of staring over the edge into the blackness, just in shock, in absolute shock.
I think Ansel is on all fours, leaning over the edge into the abyss, searching for some sign of life, essentially. And he'll turn to Bogram Obsidian and say, "Take a potion, for God's sake."
He'll just continue to stare for a second, and there's a couple of seconds that pass after Ansel speaks, and then he kind of looks up and sort of snaps out of it. He's taken his mask and his hat off. It's on the floor next to him at this point, and he looks more pale than usual. But we'll sort of snap out of it and then cast inflict moderate wounds on himself, possibly a few times.
Oh yeah, it's not a potion, is it? I shouldn't have said potion.
Inflict, that's 2d8 plus 1 per caster level. So we'll cast it once. Oh, well,
Nice.
That's not so bad. And he'll cast
HP
it
back.
twice.
Very good. We like to see
And
it.
another 19. So, because he was in need of it, he had 2 hit points left.
Nice one.
He was in deep trouble.
I assume Ansel cannot see anything 60 feet below that is the reach of his dark vision and magic vision and invisibility vision.
Yeah, sadly not. You've seen Silasta just vanish into the darkness, and you can't tell really. You can't see the bottom from where you are. To be
Well,
It's too deep.
Bogran won't have moved in casting that. He's still sat where he was, looking over the edge. He'll look up and he'll look at Trick. And just sort of glance down and just say, check it out.
Trick is sat on the edge of the drop, and his pointy ears are sort of like like low and flattened to his head as he sort of like looks sadly down. And then wordlessly he spreads his wings and just swan dives just off the edge and vanishes into the dark. Is there anything that you're going to do whilst he's gone, or are you just silently waiting for him to
Ansel will say, time to go home, I think. Buckram.
I think we should withdraw, yes, but we can't leave him here.
Yes, but if Trick can't retrieve him...
A period of time passes, and eventually Trick, you can sort of see like a red speck appear, Ansel, as he comes into the range of your vision first.
Trick returns, Obsidian.
Like he swoops back up and goes, vertical flat. It really takes it out of you. It is deep. It is deep, my friends.
And did you find him?
He looks so peaceful. Peaceful. We envy that. The voices echo from the corner of the darkness. Yet he didn't join us, no. We hungered for him and he did not join us.
Trick, what's the floor like down there?
It is solid stone and rubble. It is deep, but not too deep for the likes of us. There was a door down there too.
A door?
Yes, a door.
There's a rough idea of how deep. How many rounds did it take him to fly back up?
Well, what's his fly speed? And I'll just be able to tell you, but you can work it out.
His fly speed is 50 feet.
Okay, so he would have come back in 12 seconds, which means you're dealing with about 100 feet.
Okay, which means that... Right. In which case... I can deal with this. Just wait here. And then we will immediately withdraw.
What about the thing? He'll point at the caller in the dark.
It will remain without me. It can't leave into the sunlight anyway, so it'll be here waiting when we return.
You can stay with me, and me, and me, say dozens of voices all at once.
It is disconcerting, even to me.
Isn't it now? One second. Oh. Actually, no. I can't do it now. We're going to have to do it tomorrow. We're going to have to come back to retrieve it. I can do it easily, but I've used everything I've got, basically.
Very well. Withdraw now.
I think we have to.
Okay. As you make your retreat through the ruins of this place that you remember is like decked out and is clearly like was once dedicated to the god of light, the god of the sun, Pelor. The irony that this is now the home of the Lightbreakers, or at least a scheme of the Lightbreakers, has played on your minds as you make your way back out of the entryway, back into the sewers and beyond. Now, there are lots of things in the sewers. I'm going to roll to see if you encounter anything on the way out. You're fine. Thankfully, your path was clear, and most things were terrified by the caller in the darkness, so it was quite a rare chance to run into anything else. And speaking of, the caller in the darkness follows enthusiastically, wisping about all of you. Many different faces, sure to like be level with you and look into your eyes as you walk by.
I'm relatively sure. Well, I don't think it will follow us out of the sewer.
No, you can tell it to stay here
into the
and
sunlight.
stay for 9 days.
I don't think the
it was.
sunlight wouldn't hurt it, though, would it? The sunlight just makes it.
The description is that it would
Powerless?
flee from sunlight. It would
flee from sunlight, right, okay.
Yes, so
I haven't read the full description for the one that I can summon, but I know it's just sunlight powerlessness, as in it becomes ineffective, but it doesn't hurt it. But obviously, if it would flee, that's fine. So it would follow us as far as it could then, until we leave the underground.
yeah. So
We should find a way to destroy that abomination.
There's a conversation to have away from it. Right now, it's not a problem. We have plenty of time until that becomes an issue.
Where do you fall back to? Where are you going?
Well, we'll go back to the house, back to Graves and Co.
Back to Graves and Co. Very well.
I suppose.
The day has got on significantly.
Oh no!
He's still there.
He's on the map.
Oh, he's still there.
It's too painful.
A curse. Right.
He's gone.
It's just making my life
So
harder. just
cold
moving
and
your
callous.
token.
Just
Yeah.
delete.
He was. Matt was trying to put his token over it, which was stopping me from getting him.
I was trying to save him. I was like,
No.
no, don't take him.
Could have saved him before.
You can't have him. Not today. God of death, not today.
He is gone.
delete.
And it is in weary, stunned silence you return. As mentioned, it is the 23rd. Sorry, not the 23rd. We've time travel. Bloody hell. It is the 16th day of reaping. And upon this day, not only had you gone shopping, interviewed the Dragon Guard garrison, been intimidated by the Watch, and Overwatch was declared. You had beaten the Caller in the darkness. At the end of that, then Silaster fell, so it is well and truly dark now as the autumn evening draws in. There is a cold chill in the air, and I'd like you to do a spot check, please, Ansel and Obsidian, as you make your way.
Strange headache.
Oh, he just had his brain sucked out through his face.
11.
What was yours, Obsidian?
Mine, I don't know, because I'm not on that screen. 1 second.
No problem.
I was just changing my name back. Elrazia 10. It was crap, as my spot checks are always crap.
Oh, that
He's
didn't-
he's in shock. He's not.
Yeah. You don't really notice anything. Then you're both of you are sort of like on your way, like, and it is not long before you enter Graves and Co. The dull silence is upon you.
Obsidian. After tomorrow, once we retrieve Silaster and our things, I'd suggest that you return here for good.
You mean abandon our quest?
I mean, you abandoned the quest, yes. Me and Silaster, were, in his case, I suppose, not in a place where people were relying on us.
I'll take it into consideration. He'll go and grab that same bottle of whiskey.
You've got a lot of mileage in this game.
There's a little bit left in the bottom. He just shakes the bottom. And he just looks disappointed that there's only a little bit left. But he just pours out 2 glasses and hands one across and just slides it across the kitchen table. Or the living room table, because we're in the living room. I feel like we have lost one. This is true. But the world, the city, has lost many. And currently we stand to do something about it. Beyond that, what happens outside of the city, I don't know. But whilst there is still a threat to the city, I still consider that my family aren't safe. So I'll not be abandoning this quest. Outside of the city, like I say, I don't know. It's something I will consider.
You could take your family and leave the city.
I could. And then we would be refugees with nothing, leaving our entire life and wealth behind. I can't subject them to that.
You'd have your lives.
They're going to have their lives. Because we're going to stop this, whatever this is. What happened to Silaster was unfortunate and something I'll never be able to get out of my head. But up to that point, we were winning. And he got careless. We're not going to let that happen again.
Just remember, people like Silaster and I will not be mourned. People like you are different.
With those words, is there anything that you would do with this evening? You've come here to rest. Anything at all, or
I think that Obsidian will look. So, although obviously we're not at the library, but he has the the Libris Mortis, at least, he's taken with him at this point to look over some stuff. But he's also got a few books just to do with his work, funeral rites and things like that. So he's going to search through them to see if there is anything, however obscure, in relation to the funeral rites of the Snow Elves. To see if there's anything that he can, glean information on how to lay Silasta to rest properly, what the right thing to do is for when they retrieve him.
Yeah, sure. You can give me a knowledge religion check.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Ooh, 20.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So, yeah, you're able to combine that with knowledge that you've gained from other places as well. And the chapter in the Libris Mortis falls open on a metaphysical concept known as Arvenath, which is said to be the elven realm of the deceased. And this is a hall primarily made of elves that have had their lives taken, for it is very rare that elves will pass on due to age or anything like that, really. Usually elves die in battle, or by other means. The gift and the curse of their kind. And Arvenath itself is a realm of legend. Supposedly like the planar neighbour of Arvendor, which is said where the elves first came into being, and delivered from there by the Eladrin, and other Fae as well. And you know that there aren't really for elves in general. There is song, and then there are words that are spoken in that tongue. But mainly it's rituals connected to nature. Snow elves, on the other hand, specifically, difficult to tell, unfortunately. For where elves aren't exactly numerous in this world, snow elves are less numerous. You didn't even know they existed until you met Silasta. You suspected maybe he was making it up when you first met him. But so you don't know. You imagine maybe something to do with the mountains that he spoke of regularly. He spoke of his home in the mountains. But unfortunately, nothing specific to snow elves.
Okay. That's a toughie then, isn't it? That is a toughie. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Thoughts.
One other thing.
Hmm?
I'm so sorry. I just went on a spiel about elven lore and forgot to give you the most important, the important part of that religion check, which is to do with something you thought of earlier. How indeed can you lay the soul of someone to rest when you know that his soul is not at rest?
Mm-hmm. Yes, well, this was also sort of part of it. He's just trying to figure out sort of what to do with his body and any sort of funeral rites that are necessary, but he's still sort of unsure about it. But I think he, after reading about it and considering it, he makes his way to bed with a resolve. He has made a decision, I think, as to what the best thing to do is. But we'll go to bed.
Okay. Ansel, anything that you're doing that evening?
I think the only thing he will do is try to sleep next to the only things he now finds familiar in pretty much the whole world, with the Shade and Cry snuggled in a bundle in their different forms.
This is the last moments, really, of the Sickle Moon. This is the second day of it, and by the time midnight arrives, then it's a new day, and that power is gone from you until next the Sickle Moons rise again. And as the moments begin to tick by before that hour, before the midnight hour, as you're settling down to rest, Ansel, you see a gleam come from your belt, the mirror shard, beckoning for your attention.
Yeah, he'll take it out and say, "Even tonight, Annie, or is it the Queen?"
You see no queen. You see no girl. You see a gate. You see a subterranean structure. Upon it, the bodies of many warriors, and many dark reaching shapes with tentacles that appear to reach out towards the surface of the mirror. And you see the face of a individual, a dwarf, who is looking at his, not commanding officer, but superior in the field at least, who is yelling at him, "Remember! Remember!" And Runic, you turn and you are face to face with Ansel. You can say one thing to this peculiar looking figure that is looking at you through some gap in the world.
The fuck? It might very well just be that. The fuck?
And with that, then the image begins to fade, Ansel. However, what is confirmed to you is that you well and truly see a gate that looks almost identical to the one that you did battle before in the west at the Arrowhead. You have seen another gate. The hours pass by until morning comes. Naya has asked some questions, Obsidian, wondering if
I'm
you're
sure.
all generally which we don't have to go into because I think the answers will all be obvious, but I'm curious,
Given all the
would you,
wounds.
just so I'm aware, would you share what has happened before we move on?
Oh, that's a tough one. Yeah, I think he probably would, but again, it would be a PG version.
The PG
Of
version of your friend
things.
being killed.
No, well, his own injuries he would downplay and stuff, and then he would just, he would obviously be honest about the tragedy. The tragedy of Silas the Wise. Yeah, so he would downplay his own injuries a little bit, as
She's-
one would to a wife, but he is honest, yeah.
She is mortified, and before you can rest, really, there's like a whispered argument at this stage, the kind of argument that you have at a certain volume, so as not to wake the kids.
Okay, I know it well.
And it's concerning. Not because I don't want to, not that it isn't owed its time in this moment that we're sharing, but because I think we all know what would be said, and that is that Naya is coming to terms with the fact that you are living a life where each day could very well be your last. But another day comes, and in stark contrast to the misery that hangs in your hearts as you wake with a start, a brilliant sunshine is gleaming through the windows. It's like nothing has changed. There is a dun 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 at the door. Dun 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 dun.
Ansel sits up straight in his coffin, flinging the cry across the room.
Somebody's keen. Bogram will make his way down the stairs.
Dun 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 dun.
And, yeah, I mean, he's probably washed up and stuff, but he's still in just a loose shirt and trousers. He's not put all of his, cloak and stuff on yet. But he'll go to the door and.
Yeah, you do that.
Have a little look through the thing.
You don't see anyone. You just open the thing.
Right, okay. What's going to happen here? Because, he'll open the door.
You open the door, and looking up at you is the familiar face of Twistone. Wakey, wakey, rise and shine. I'm sorry, did I wake you up?
I didn't really sleep all that much, if I'm honest.
I had plenty of sleepless nights in this age. You right there, pal? You look a bit more peakier than usual.
Can I help you, Swiftstone?
Actually, it is something that I can do for you as usual.
Marvellous.
I think during this conversation, Ansel is standing in the other doorway in the corner, because he didn't know who was at the door. Full claws out. The shade is looming, creating a shadow behind him, and the cry is back arched, not hissing, but ready to hiss at any moment.
Well, it concerns the gate. Where you and I first met. Aye.
Yes, I remember the gate. Remember it well.
Well, whilst I was conducting my research about that gate, I was looking into the others as well. And I think I have a lead in the form of a good friend of mine. I'd like to introduce you to Runic as your son. It's hard to do with my voice. And he steps aside, and then once again, if you'd like to describe once again, just because this is the first time they're seeing it, and to reiterate what they see when they look upon Runic as your son.
Yeah, so he's, not as built as maybe the other dwarfs you've come across before, but he's dark, leathery skin, kind of dark brown hair, and a sort of messy beard, quite short hair, not the longest beard. He's not wearing any armour by the looks of it. It's all coats and shirts and trousers. But there is kind of slinged across, there's what looks like a crossbow. Doesn't look really dwarven made. It does look like some dwarven runes have been kind of etched into the butt of it. And apart from, there's like a tankard strapped to his belt. There he is.
Now I know what you're thinking, and he's not one of those stuffy undercloth types. Never been underground in your life, have you, Runic?
Not at all.
Can we come in?
I know you.
Well, I don't like him.
And that is where we're going
I
to take.
don't like him. No, I slam the door.
That is where we're going to take a very quick break then. So for those watching live and after that, thank you ever so much for watching. We're introducing a brand new character, and what better way to introduce a character than shared experience and secret knowledge? We shall find out what and why that is when we come back from the break. Take it easy. We'll be right back.
You make us fall in love with new characters and then just kill them off, you bastard.
Okay, good.
Okay, I was going to say something rude, so it's very lucky.
It's very lucky that I brought to our attention that we have once again returned to the stream, and it is at the moment that you spot Ansel through that door, Runic, that everything comes flooding back. It comes flooding back like when you see or smell or hear a sensation that brings about a memory you had long forgotten. Or not forgotten, just not witnessed or not felt for a while. Many nights... Go ahead.
Sorry, when Runic said, was it what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that in Dwarvish that he said it? Or was it in Common?
It would have been in common. You'll find out, but yeah, that would have been in common.
It all
I think Ansel will repeat that phrase back to Runic at this point as well. What the fuck?
You, for a long time, have had this vision, Runic. You have had this vision of a great gate. And for a long time, you've not known how to express what you have experienced. Because not many people understand your abilities. However, the one that does understand, the one who had called on your own expertise, your own experience, the moment he himself had explored and examined a gate, was Swiftstone. Your contact, acquaintance, who had sent word the very day of him meeting the strangers when investigations began about these gates. And you've known about this for some time. You've known about this vision that you've had. But only this lowly spy of the Court of Whispers has ever really paid much attention to you. Swiftstone understands more about your abilities than you think anyone else has. And so by his wishes, you were bidden to take a ship from Dendane in the very north, all the way down to the realm of Orenthale, where we are now in the west. Runic has had some experiences with some gates. Or rather, a gate. Quite like ourselves. I thought it high time I introduce him, and he's got a rather spectacular set of skills, if you don't mind me blowing some smoke at your ass, Runic.
You flatter me, as Runic pulls away his tankard from his belt and gives it a quick knock against his knee as some cheap-looking ale seems to manifest within it.
Where's the elf?
He fell.
Things went very poorly yesterday. Very poorly indeed.
Oh no. he sort of like leans on the doorstep, or rather leans on the doorpost, and he says, "That's terrible. Well, you're going to invite us in? You're going to leave us grieving on the doorstep, Obsidian?"
Very well. Come in.
"What's his problem?" he will say to you, Ansel, pointing at Obsidian, giving me the cold
Obsidian will
shoulder.
make his way through to the kitchen.
He's unaccustomed to death, and he has a very cold shoulder.
It's acting like I had something to do with it. I'm so sorry about your friend. I really am. I liked him, from what I know of him at least.
I hesitate to say he was a good person, but he was a fine friend.
He was a shit. That's what he was. A total shit.
Not many of us in our line of work have the luxury of a moral compass. Though we do our best. I don't know what to say.
Perhaps a full introduction from Mr. What was it? Azure-san.
It was, yes. Runic Azure-san. As he then proceeds to drink the rest of his tankard. I won't emulate that because that is a scalding hot cup of coffee. So that will
Down it. I insist on full RP.
For the sake of art.
Yes, he downs it. I'm a, I suppose you could say, freelancer with Swiftstone here, but you do look familiar.
Yes. Have you ever been to one of these stone gates? Runic Azure-san.
In a manner of speaking.
I've been to one literally and one in a manner of speaking.
Yes. I'm sorry about your friend. That's unfortunate news to start, and if I had known, I would have briefed you before, Swiftstone.
What do you mean?
It's nothing. Don't worry about it.
I thought it would be a good idea to introduce you to... Well, they go by the Strangers. They have been working diligently against the threat that looms. A threat that you, by all accounts, have seen, Runic.
Well, yes.
What was your threat like? We met ours and it was strange, if you pardon the repeated use.
Runic closes his eyes. Ansel, you don't need to make a will save, but I can offer you one if you wish.
I don't know. Would I know it's not offensive, or would it just feel like an intrusion?
This feels like the physical equivalent would be someone that's going, like, trying to get your attention, trying to, like, talk to you, but trying to do it mentally. I'm trying to talk to you through there, but there's a feeling of someone trying to start a conversation with you.
What do you think, Rob? Do you think I should...
Me?
Yeah! You're the DM, You're the only other person who knows
Well, I think
how Ansel works in any way.
yeah, I do, and I think it's I don't know, like he's you don't know this guy.
Yeah.
It depends. I suppose you've got to ask. You know he's with Swiftstone. Swiftstone appears to vouch for him. I'd say if you want to grab the bull by the horns, then go for it. But if you think you'd be suspicious of him, then you should resist if you can. Depends how you feel. Like your friends just died as well, so maybe your guard's up.
Yeah, maybe his guard's up. Let's do a will save. Why not?
Will save. The DC 16. I'm not sure if you would count it as a spell or a spell-like thing. That's up to you, Rob.
For now,
For the sake of a save. I mean, I suppose it is if we're doing it for
yeah, I'm
like
going to say
resistances.
because we were talking about psionics before. The ruling that I've taken from the Dungeon Master stuff apparently is that psionics it shares in its type with against spell resistance and things like that. So I suppose you would get your bonus
Is a 1 a natural fail?
on a save.
Yes.
Yes, I think.
Then I do need to roll it. 22. You mean it's like trying to it's like trying to reach the moon from the earth.
Yeah.
Runic sigh. Just trust me, I'm just trying to show you. It's easier than trying to talk every detail through.
Ansel forcibly lets his guard down, I suppose.
Runic manifests Mind Link again. Basically, we have a telepathic bond for the next 90 minutes, but I use this to effectively show you the memories I have of the event. So rather than just talking about it, I'm showing you so you can get an actual feeling for what it is I'm remembering, basically. I show you the gate, I show you creatures breaking through, I show you the onslaught, I show you the things that's constantly breaking, reappearing and forcing their way through until the numbers swell and everyone is overrun.
Does it work both ways? So if can I show you because I presume I really only got a glimpse of mainly Runic and not really anything else that was happening in the room.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe the gate, I guess.
It's telepathic communication. It's nothing harmful. I can't do anything, but it's essentially instead of telling you mentally, I'm showing you mentally. So it's the same thing, but it does work both ways.
Yeah, I'll reciprocate and show you what I saw as well, which is presumably like a drop of water compared to the torrent that you have seen as a vision.
Well, that is interesting.
I see many things.
And it was just the one that came through.
I can usually choose a little bit more as well. A bit more specific than this, which was, hesitate to say forced on me, but suggested perhaps.
From your, let's see if we can do a check. You can give me a roll of your level of your class, Runic. Because you've had time to think about this.
18.
Yeah, long have you mused about these dreams, but or this vision, and while like sometimes it's almost like you forget it's ever happened. Sometimes that's why it came back to you when you saw Ansel. Like you've managed to retain the knowledge of it, and you also kind of get the sense of when this was happening. You get the sense that this is, with an 18, the not too distant future, but not too close either. We're talking a handful of years, perhaps. But any specifics is beyond you at that, I'm afraid. So you know this is coming, but this has not arrived yet. This has not happened yet. So there's every chance your new favourite dwarves may live. You never know, do you?
Well,
I'll make it my life's quest to protect them.
Protect them with all my power. Whilst you've been having this discussion, Swissstone will sort of like sidle up and say, "I'm sorry if I trod on your toes or anything, Obsidian. I won't be in your home much longer than is necessary."
I'd imagine that they've it's been a little while, so I will have come back through. He just disappeared and went into the kitchen.
Yeah.
But as everybody's gathering and they're introducing a new contact,
We'll go to the kitchen.
Obsidian will say, "Yeah, that's probably fair." Obsidian will say, "It's not you, Swiftstone. I just have some stuff on my mind."
I won't ask how it happened, but have you given any thought to how you'll deal with the situation? Like, I don't want to be indelicate, but is there anything of him left?
We will be retrieving his remains at some point today.
Where are they? Sorry, where is he?
They are somewhere deep beneath the city,
What were you doing
lost
down there?
in a cavern. Investigating an ongoing problem.
Is this to do with what's plaguing the city? You don't think you'd share it with old Swissstone, huh?
This is to do with what's plaguing the city. Yeah, absolutely. We've just had a little bit of a... We've had a slight problem lately with knowing 100% who everyone is. Just find that it's best to not overshare.
Very well. Well, I'll say no more about it. But if you are to delve back into the dangerous lands, I'm afraid I won't be able to accompany you. But there's not to say that Runic might not accompany you. Perhaps you can learn a bit more from each other whilst he's here.
Perhaps.
It might be good to have somebody used to being underground, although you said you'd not spent very much time underground at all, I suppose.
no, but it calls to me.
Aye, as
The
it does all of
depths.
us.
I'll give you a hand. I'm all too aware of these issues that plague the dead at the moment.
Ansel will turn to Obsidian. I fear we need the help.
We don't have any openings in our company at the moment, just to make that clear.
As I said at the door, I'm a bit of a freelancer. I'm not here for any long commitments.
Oh, good. Well, in that case, before we go wandering the depths, we should maybe warn you that we do sort of have another member of the temporary member of the company that you've yet to meet that might be a little bit intimidating. It's fine, I assure you.
I'll take your word for it. It's
Just prepare yourself.
fine.
It's unusual.
And don't listen to anything it says at all, ever.
Very much. Don't listen to what it says.
We perhaps best make use of the day.
As should
I
I.
fear there might be a fair amount to do.
I have investigations that I intend to conduct whilst in the castle. I shall be speaking with Arcane Zaria whilst I'm up there. Anything I should keep look out for on behalf of the strangers?
Perhaps just the movements of Apophis, if he happens to be around. Just keep an eye on him. Anything at all out of the ordinary or that you might consider of note, we would like to hear about it.
Very well, I'll do my best. And as for you, Runic, these fellas have gotten themselves into a fair amount of trouble since I've known them. I doubt that'll change with you in their company. Sorry, temporary company. You keep your eyes open now.
I will. What's the worst that could happen?
There is a very dull, painful silence as the memories of a very recent death very much accents the definite worst, or at least among the worst things that can happen when in the company of the strangers. And if that is your wish, then Swithstone will depart and we will return.
I might take a cure light wounds potion to not
by all means.
tempt fate.
Yeah, of course. If there's any preparations you'd like to make before you set off, by all means.
Well, I
Nice.
after a night's rest will have got enough hit points back to be down by 1, and that will just take one round.
Of touching yourself.
Touching myself
Speaking
to get back,
of touching.
so I'm back at full hit points with a whole host of new bodily scars.
I'm 3 hit points off, and that makes me a nice 69.
Nice.
Hey. And Runic.
In that case, let's go down below.
A morning power, I guess.
Okay. Right.
A morning power. We've not had one of those for a while.
Hey.
You haven't. But again, for you guys it's new, but you see almost like a shimmering full plate seem to be an illusion around him before it vanishes.
Wow, that's cool.
Interesting.
In that case, if there's nothing else,
I don't believe so.
wanting to be as swift as possible to return to your fallen friend, you depart back out into the city. As you go, I'd like you each to make a listen check, please.
I hope you're good at listening, new guy.
15.
Better than us.
Yes,
For
well,
that.
Runic.
Oh god.
You think maybe it's Obsidian and Ansel, these two individuals. You've had their names given to you by Swiftstone, even though they have yet to. I don't think they've actually introduced themselves, but he'll have told you who they are at least before knocking on that door. And both of them, to your reckoning, seem very distracted with obviously thoughts of their friends, playing on their thoughts. You hear, however, the voice of a crier in the far distance shouting, "Let it be known to all the residents of the city that the Valnor is under watch."
Under what?
Oh dear.
Proclamation is being given, declaring effectively a level of martial law that is going to be assisted, in inverted commas, by a force known as the Watch. As you meander your way through the streets, you perhaps become a little disturbed, Runic, when the two figures, strange as they are, lead you to an opening in a sewer. There is a sort of grate that leads, as we described before, under the temple district, under the Path of Faith. And with perhaps a look of distaste, you then follow.
I think during some of the trip and down into the sewers, Ansel is sort of chattering away at Runic about Silaster being sort of like their exploits, and sort of going, I asked him to kill someone once, and he did, but it turned out the man was made of rats, and he burst into this swarm of rats, and just this almost gibberish that he's regaling the sort of story from his point of view of the strangers, and in particular Silaster.
Weirdly enough, Runic doesn't look too confused by a lot of this. I mean, there's okay, right, yeah.
And then there was a book, and we went into the book, but everything was words. There was a giant creature that was coming towards us. We had to very quickly...
Okay. It's all gone very dark for me.
It's because you're not here.
He's gone.
This was where Silaster was.
This is where he stood, and this is where he...
He walked this way, and then he killed something. Yes, he was very good at killing.
And at last, you return back to where you were.
I see nothing.
It's because you're not there yet.
You're on your way. So, you can return.
But he's not there. Let me tell you about the way he walks. The way he acts and the colour of his beard.
There he lies.
Totally.
Can you see now?
Where the hell is Runic? I think he fell down the...
Sorry?
No, he's in the previous room. That's why you can't see him.
No,
Sorry,
I think
Rob as
Runic
well?
fell. He fell down the hole. We've got to go and get a new accomplice now.
Another new accomplice.
I still can't see anything.
Another one fell. Let's withdraw.
I've literally put you in the map.
Have you given me vision?
I thought I had.
Do you feel in control?
Oh,
don't feel in
actual
control.
vision. Good lord.
Real vision.
Yeah, so you have to turn on his eyes.
Yes, I have turned on his eyes.
Activate eyes.
Do you see now?
Yes.
Can you see me now?
Can you see me now? Can
Yep.
you move him now?
I have control.
Great.
Do you feel in control?
So you come back down the stairs, and it is of no surprise to you that the chamber where you had done battle with the gargoyles remains utterly devoid of anything, for guarding it with demented glee is the caller in the darkness. Runic, you behold this thing, and it is as it has been described to the strangers. This thing is diabolical. Its calls and cries are harrowing to behold and to listen to. And you, as one sensitive with the powers of... Well, I won't go into it, but your powers, it's particularly unnerving. Many faces lick their lips at you through the mist. Another one to join us, join us, join us, join us.
I take it back. That is unsettling.
How tall is Runic? Just out of curiosity. Is
He's
he like an average dwarf height?
under 5 foot, so he's about 4'9", 4'10" ish.
Ansel would have to lean over then, probably, to talk into your ear, and he's like we said, just ignore it.
Fine.
Pay it no heed. Right. I need to go and retrieve our friend. I'll be back shortly.
Do you need us to do anything, Obsidian?
Trick is going to come with me, and if I need you, he will let you know.
Runic reaches into his coat and pulls out a small crystal. It's diminutive. It's like just under smaller than the palm of his hand. Take Borin with you.
That is a rock. Are you okay?
He lets Borin go, and the crystal hovers in the air. It's more than a rock.
I mean, it's very pretty. I didn't mean to
What
insult
does
you.
it do?
It hovers, obviously. Can't you see?
And a
Hovers.
voice
Yeah, it
says, and it minds its own business.
It's a rock with an attitude.
Borin
Oh
just
my!
then you. It's all right. Keep an eye on things down there.
Well, I hope he can keep up. At this point, Obsidian will just sort of step off the edge and just disappear off into the dark. Skydive.
As you go over the edge, you hear the crystal say, what is he, some kind of gothic bardic tribute act?
It's a dickhead.
I believe the term is mortician. Off you go.
That is a big old crystal.
It is. You remember when I said that I prepared
The palm
everything?
of your hand is
I
huge.
even said yesterday, I need to remember to do that.
I mean, we can see it. That's the main thing. So.
Yeah,
The
I'll
largest
give you,
palm of the hand ever.
give you-
Looks like a chaos emerald.
Oh, it does look like a chaos emerald. So as you go, this sneering voice follows you over the edge, Obsidian, as you delve into the darkness, and a cold wind gusts about you as you go lower and lower and lower. And you're using Featherfall, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, he just jumped off.
Ring Featherfall off. I toss it into the dark and I leap.
Aim for the bushes.
No, I'm using.
You think of what I'm thinking.
Right. As you descend lower and lower and lower, then, Obsidian, there's this kind of eerie sensation that sort of
Yes,
like.
I will spark up a sunstick on my way down.
Yeah, the rest of you
While
watch
I'm
as
falling.
Obsidian goes, and you see this like glimmering light like go deeper and deeper and deeper. You don't lose sight of him 100 feet away with that glowing light, but it becomes very small as he goes deeper and deeper. And as you get closer and closer to the bottom, Obsidian, you feel like yourself. You can't help but take like a sharp intake of breath as you see sprawled at the bottom. A figure that lies broken against the side of the wall, as if resting, almost leaning against the wall. It's as you land.
He's only sleeping.
It's as you land nearby, without harm at all because of Featherfall, that you hear like a skittering as you scare away the rats that have been at him.
Lovely. Okay, so using the sunstick as light. In fact, I'll just throw the sunstick on the floor nearby so it lights the area, and I imagine some stuff is probably scattered a little bit, but most stuff was attached to him and in bags, so it's all sort of gathered together.
Yeah, so you can see all of the stuff. You can see all of his belongings are there. You can give me a search check to determine whether everything from the bag of holding remains inside the bag of holding.
Well, I mean, I can try. I can try. I think. Do you know what? I'm going to ask Trick if he can do it, whilst I do it as well, because he's got a much better search than I do.
Yes, I will search, master.
So my search is 3. Trick's is 8.
Oh God.
Master.
It's dark. It's dark.
It's very dark trying to search in this bag, in this pit.
Yeah, he's got perfect dark vision.
Boring
Really,
could also
like 60
look, but he
feet.
doesn't know what he's looking for. That's the
No,
problem.
he wouldn't know what was missing. And my search is terrible. I've only got +2 anyway. I rolled a 1. Oh dear. Yeah, I haven't got a clue. I know. So the important things I'm looking for: bag of holding. I'll check for the 3-ringed thingy that we had, that we all used. And I mean, I know roughly what stuff we'd sold. A lot of stuff out of the bag of holding.
Yeah, a lot of it. You sold some good.
I mean,
good portion of
Obsidian
it
would
before.
know what he was looking for, which I don't really, unless I've got the thingy open in front of me. Because
Well, with an 8, I would tell you if you knew, but with an 8 you don't. Trick.
I mean, he would know specific things he was looking for.
Well, you're searching in the bag in the dark to see if you can find everything that you know is in there, and right now you can't because you didn't roll well enough. That's what I mean.
That's fine. That doesn't matter.
You see the door now, sadly not on the map, but you can see that there is a door that is directly by this pillar here. That didn't come up with anything, or did it?
No, it didn't. Oh, you're using the DM
It's my
screen,
thing is
and
black,
it's
yeah.
black on black. Make it maybe make it white or something. But yeah, okay, I see. So there's a door there.
Yeah.
Okay. I definitely don't want to check that on my own. So I will.
You're not alone.
Not
You've
alone.
got 2 familiars. You could have had my familiar as well, but it wasn't quick enough off the mark.
Yeah, but we haven't decided whether we're going to go through the door down here or whether we're going to carry on up there and come back and do this later, which I think might be a better option. this feels like a bit of a tangent. So my next move is I will gather up everything I can grab hold of. Dear Silaster, he will with sadness and
Are you going
respect,
to shove him in the?
shove him in the bag of holding.
Of course, that's what's happening.
So many others.
Oh God!
Oh,
Hang on. He will first.
Indignity.
He will cast gentle repose upon him.
And then jam him.
Well, he's already kind of pretty broken, isn't he? So we'll
You
just
want to pull anything off his body at this point, or are you going to not? Because there's
Or
a
like
few
an
things.
arm or a leg, or
I can
I'm
tell
not
you what
gonna take-
items he has.
I'm not going to take anything off his body because the risk is because it's dark and I might roll really badly with stuff and lose things down here. I think we're better off. I will check the floor to make sure there's no bits around. So check the area. Obviously, I've looked in the bag of holding. I didn't really get much from that because I didn't roll very well. I'll have a quick scout around the sort of area where he fell to make sure none of his stuff has rattled away. Would you allow me another search check, Rob?
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
Of just the surrounding area.
Yeah, and Trick can do one as well. Yeah.
So I get a 20.
Mm-hmm.
And Trick also gets a 20.
Ooh.
So we're just
But then
searching
you sort of
around the
split
area
that.
to see any bits that have clattered away in the fall.
I mean, he didn't have any weapons, so it would probably just be teeth, I
2
guess.
throwing daggers.
Yeah, you can find 2 thrown daggers that would have been on his belt, maybe, and you also recover stuff that has clearly fallen down here before Blessed Silaster plunged down here as well. Nothing really of value, but then again, every now and then, your sunstick glints upon something upon the ground, and you learn that there are a number of precious stones down here. You see that some kind of offering plate is smashed in the corner. So yeah, let's see how many precious gems you find. So can you please roll me two
A
D10.
2000.
2d10, please.
There's one D10 is a 3, and another D10, which is also a 3, so 6.
No, sorry. Yeah, that's 33 precious gems in total.
Oh, 33. Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
well, we will be taking those to be appraised.
Yeah, you can't really tell. A lot of them are quite murky, but you could tell just from the glint that there's something bright and shining beneath the dark covering. It's quite like yourself, Obsidian. You muse to yourself, perhaps, as you pack those gems away. There doesn't appear to be anything else though with that search. Great search. Just a pit that has clearly collapsed into some form of basement dwelling that was here long, long ago, but has long since had a use other than a trap for the unwary.
Okay.
Skeletons and the like,
No.
smashed bones and stuff, but nothing of
I
value.
think that's it. So at this point, I will be returning everything to the surface. So
How are we going to go up, Master? I can't carry you.
I don't need you to, Trick. I can take
That's
care
good,
of
'cause
myself.
I'm really big.
He's actually quite skinny. He's quite scrawny. But not a problem. He will concentrate for a second, and in the darkness, he will summon an undead wyvern.
Oh. Wow.
This is a large-sized creature, so it only takes up the space of four squares. So these bones kind of crawl out of the ground of this wyvern again, and then sort of rudimentary flesh appears on its body, and the flesh kind of goes really kind of shiny smooth. And although it is a zombie in that it's got zombie-like eyes, again, it's quite beautifully preserved, as is the case for all of his summons. And as it's large and has a good strength and can carry lots and lots and can fly 60 feet, it would not take very long at all to return us to the surface.
Very well. With a hollow kind of shriek, it permits you to ride it, and the beast takes flight. Tattered wings bear you aloft, and soon it lands on
and
the
as he's flying up with this thing sort of carrying, he's kind of holding on to the side of it. It just drags him upwards. And the rock, I imagine, is hovering next to us, the crystal. And he says, not to worry, it's just a prop, the tribute act.
Quite the collection you see, Runic. A vast undead wyvern, a screaming mist of souls.
Put us on a nice bit of sturdy ground.
Wow.
Warned you were.
Now-
Ready, perhaps not.
As we land, he will say to Ansel, there is a door down there. I can take us all down, but we have to make a decision now. This guy doesn't last all that long. So, do we explore up here and finish up here? Or do you want to check out the door below?
We have a mission. We can always come back for the door.
I agree. Okay. So the wyvern will drop us off, and we'll sort of stand and proudly sort of scrape the floor a little bit and sort of shake its head. But it only lasts for 9 rounds. And then it just sort of melts back into the floor, turns to dust, and disappears.
It's gone. And thankful too,
After
because you
the
don't
rock
imagine
is
the
off.
wyvern could fit through the corridor you arrived in anyway. The one beyond, perhaps, as it appears to be much wider, but not this one. What do you
So-
do then?
Should we check the door over the other side? I very nearly clicked on the door over the other side, but I didn't. I was trying to just indicate. Check the door over the other side. That's the way we were going.
Yes, let's give it a look. I don't suppose you have any skills for checking traps or preventing calamity, Runic.
Well, not against the manufactured. Little better against a living mind.
Very well.
Curious.
I will try the door. Aha!
Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought you were talking about another door.
No, this door.
The big door. I'm so sorry. I was looking at the
Oh,
wrong
is it a
one.
big door?
Yeah, I was like, oh, that was like, I can't see them without having opened it. There we go. Wow. Okay. Fantastic. So, oh god, come on.
Ooh. A sundial? That's entirely redundant, isn't it?
Underground, I love interesting artifacts.
Okay. Okay, for some reason my screen doesn't want me to scroll up, so that's interesting. There we go. Yes.
Oh,
so-
mine went a bit like that a second ago.
Yeah,
It didn't want to
it
move.
wouldn't let me
Fucking hell.
move my arrow. I was like, come on, we've been through this. Roll 20.
Roll 20 being weird again.
Okay, so before you see, yeah, absolutely, a vast sundial. And there is, yeah, it's wrought into the stone and there's a thick layer of dust across it, number of markings all around it. And there's also it's almost like that there's something missing from the front of the dial, like some kind of tablet could be like rested upon it, like a prayer book or something made of stone to slot into it.
Ansel will walk over and inspect it with glee,
As you
using detect magic and, I guess, dark side. There's no point.
Perfect. As you walk into the room, you note that to the right of you there is a sudden drop which leads to a staircase that appears to like just vanish down into the darkness 100 or so feet.
Might that staircase lead over to your door, Obsidian?
It could very well lead to the door, yeah. Which would have really saved me a
Summon. Maybe you should have checked it.
Funny that dick move, Ian.
You could have deleted the staircase.
Nope.
Yeah, man.
I refuse.
I want you to know your mistakes.
No, I said that it was a basement area, thus there would have been stairs. Very deep basement, but it is sunken into the ground, so there we are. That's my justification. Yeah, so there's that sundial there.
I'd like to do a close inspection, please.
Yeah, by all means. So, sorry, yeah, you did say. So you are looking at it, and there does appear to be a very trace amount of transmutation magic, I think. Yes, transmutation magic.
Transmutation. Interesting. Does anything move on it, or is it all stationary?
So it looks like that the big sundial itself can be moved about, but it looks like it's in the position that it would need to be in to read the time correctly, should or the hour of the day, should light fall upon it.
Interesting. And is there anything engraved in the sundial?
It looks like there would have been, where that gap is missing. There's like a missing part where like a stone tablet could slot into.
Curious.
Very strange. What's the ceiling like?
So the ceiling looks like it has had like it looks like it's been kind of caved in a little bit. But if you were to look closely, can you give me a spot check?
Probably not. Oh, 16. Could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, so in days of old, this would have up there been some kind of mechanically opening roof, something that you it's like actually a forgotten kind of technology. They say that those ancient days, the civilization was greater in many respects, and that's like a piece of machinery you wouldn't see anywhere. But that is long since blocked up, and you know for a fact that you are far like built over at this point. Like, so that would, in a long time ago, the sun would have shined through there, but you doubt that that ever would be the case anymore. Light won't fall upon it like that. Do you want to give me a check with just a roll with your level? Because this is a memory.
All of us, or
Yeah. Well, sorry, Obsidian and Ansel. Sorry, not Runic, as he was not present, unfortunately.
thank you.
You have a much better memory than me.
Ansel, you're watching Obsidian, and like he's recovered the bag of holding, and like is carrying it with him, and suddenly a memory comes back to you of one of your many recoveries of items. You remember, you have an image of Silaster rushing away from the caller in the darkness with a big sack over his shoulder, and from it a number of magical items were retrieved, but something else was too. You remember that there was a stone tablet that had some kind of prayer on it. It was 4 sessions ago, so it was a little while ago.
I do remember.
Just a month or so.
It was not there. So.
Yes, I got you, Mike. I got you. Yes, but sadly, Runic wasn't there, so that's fair. But that check thankfully allows Ansel to remember. Pulling the stone tablet out, you would look upon it, and it would say, "Read this well, and you shall measure the means to unveil a secret treasure. Behold the dial when the sun rises at dawn. A cunning disguise will be withdrawn."
Don't suppose dawn is anytime soon, is it?
Yeah, you look up at the collapsed roof and think, probably not.
Shit. We might have to stay here all night. Does anything happen if we put the tablet into the dial?
It fits there comfortably, like it belongs there, but no magic occurs, no connecting of a circuit unveils itself. But you can see that this was lifted from that. You remember thinking that this bag of looked like it had been like nicked and like put somewhere, and this is probably one of those things.
Well, if we come back just before dawn, perhaps a secret treasure will reveal itself to us.
Maybe.
Unless we have a means of making light.
Well, we do, but we don't know what direction the light specifically should come from.
Well, what time is dawn, I suppose?
You can give me a geography check if you have it. Otherwise, an intelligence check.
Oh, I've got geography. 10.
Okay.
Straight intelligence,
Ain't that bright.
5.
Hansel's not that bright either.
It doesn't
Oh,
occur
no.
to you. It doesn't occur to you whatsoever. There's a number of things that potentially you could learn about this thing, but perhaps you'll have to come back to it. But it's good to know that it's there, and good to know that you have at least the idea that something lies behind this secret in the dark.
It's really annoying because we do have a method of creating light. We could fake dawn light on it. If only we weren't so stupid.
We're just,
Well,
unfortunately...
no, that wasn't what the check was for. The check was for a
okay.
geography check. You asked, well, what side does the sun rise, and you failed that check.
Well, what time does the...
You came up with that idea all on your own, Ansel. So,
Somebody... Hang on. You
Have a wand of light.
dwarf. Don't dwarves always know what direction is north when you're under the ground? Or something?
That's racist.
it sounded weird.
Not racist if it's a positive.
Could I cast light with my wand of light?
You can cast light with your wand of light, yes. The light of the wand gleams upon it, and it appears almost like specks of dust begin to rise, as if caught in day beams. But you just instinctually know that this isn't enough. This light is not enough.
I should probably have known how many uses that wand had of light. Let's assume 10.
Why not? Hang on, we have a daylight pellet.
Yes, you do.
We do have a
Need to
daylight
know
pellet.
exactly the direction to launch it from.
That's the question. How long does the daylight from the daylight pellet last?
I suppose.
Sun rises in the east.
I mean, we could just walk round it.
If it works the same in this world,
It does
as
work the same in this world, yes. There are 3 moons, but only 1 sun, and that sun acts normal, alright?
It's a normal sun.
It acts
Normal
bloody
sun,
normal.
normal people.
So it rises in the east. We just need to know which way is east.
10 rounds, by the way.
Great,
Oh, well,
10
you could just
rounds.
try every direction if it lasts 10 rounds.
Okay,
Yeah,
how
we
is the
just
daylight pellet activated?
hold it up like this in the air and walk slowly around the thing.
Okay, well, you can certainly try that if you wish.
I have no idea how a daylight pellet activates. I didn't.
When it shatters, it creates illumination equivalent to a
Crush it.
When it shatters. Is that what you're going to do? Are you going to do that now?
I mean, should we? Can
We'll probably forget
When
otherwise.
it lands, it shatters and creates it. So I'm sure you can just shatter it, just against a wall. Hold the light up in your hand. And then walk around the circle. Yeah, that's what I'll do.
It's so stupid it might just work.
Okay, so you crack the daylight pellet and you then spend the 10 rounds that it is bright walking around the dial. The caller in the darkness doesn't flee in terror because this is only a daylight spell, but it still looks on and whispers to itself threateningly at the mimicking of such a thing. It is as you get to the east that there is a moment where the dial begins to let out a soft glow, and the numerals and the carvings around this dial begin to glow, and you see a rising sun dawned into the heart of this the sundial, and you hear a as to the right of your position and up a bit, something heavy shakes.
Something heavy shakes.
Yeah, from around this direction.
Oh, here.
Up
Okay.
there.
Oh,
yeah.
right.
Yeah,
It
there's
looks
there's
left.
a little passageway up there.
Go check it out. Go check it out.
I'll go and look.
I'll go with you.
So, you go round that corner there, then. And you enter
Immediately fall into a trap.
a small offshoot room. There is a pillar there in which there is carved a number of pictures of the sun, of a shining sun lord there. But it is revealed
A door.
a secret door that has now become revealed, and it opens.
Kapow! I closed it immediately.
Yes. Inside.
I'll take a look in that chest if it's open.
There is a chest. Now that is random loot time. Now, we just immediately lost Ansel, as you said.
He didn't want any loot, apparently.
No, obviously
Actually,
not.
Random loot! Ah!
You remember in Elden Ring where the chest teleports you?
Yes.
What that was.
Yes. Translocation
Dumb.
trap. Yes.
Pity.
Pity.
Whilst he's reload 2 seconds, I just need to grab something from the bedroom.
That's okay. No problem at all.
Oi, oi.
I think we're getting him back.
He's loading. Loading.
I'm moving away because I'm bringing up the magic item compendium.
Now?
We see you. I see you. I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear and see you.
Good. I pressed the wrong button on my mouse and it took me back a page.
That is annoying. I have the same thing on my mouse.
It's
I really wish.
super annoying.
Yes, I wish I didn't have one as well. I imagine you
Yeah.
can stop it from working, but I have not the inclination.
Exactly.
All the
I've never
common
used it
sense.
intentionally.
I have returned. But I'm just going off camera for a moment, but I'm still here.
That's okay. So there is going to be a combination of random magic items, which I think probably better to maybe do off the out of game. But there will be 1 or 2 items that I will explain that you find here just for the record. Okay. One appears to be like a gleaming golden staff, or like a rod or a scepter. It's hard to tell what it is. And it appears to be just a glimmering golden staff. Appears to have like symbols of the sun etched into it and the like, and gleaming sunbeams kind of like attached to the head of the staff. Quite a glorious, radiant-looking weapon or item of some kind. The other, there is a box inside with a lock and a chain, and on the box there is a note. That says, I bequeath this to you in penance for my past. No longer shall I indulge in the darkest of arts. And the box appears to have like a chain around it and its own lock.
Most interesting.
And the rest will be random loot, which we will determine off the stream, I think, just because of what time it is, and we can probably fit a bit more exploring in rather than doing that. Well, it's up to you, actually. Would you rather do the random loot, or would you rather have more of a look around? Up to you.
I'd rather look around more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rather explore.
Yep, so you've got the box that was locked with a chain, and you've got the golden star, and some other items that we will explore later on. So where do you go next? There is a door next to you. That Cry is next to you at the moment.
We could try that, seeing as it's there, or we could. There's a little corridor up to the north side of things.
There is. As you go over there, Ansel, please make a listen check. As you move over to that end of the corridor.
13.
Really easy check, because it is the sound of a ka-tink, 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 ka-tink. Sounds like the endless drumming of a smith's hammer upon an anvil.
I'm going to say it's a blacksmith.
And every now and
Bloody
then,
black.
you hear a like a scream echoing down the corridor. Hence why it was quite easy to make a shot. As you move over there, Runic and Obsidian, you hear it too, echoing from down there somewhere.
I say, Rob,
Yeah.
I've accidentally somehow managed to put Trick outside of the map.
Oh, well
I
done.
don't know how I've teleported him through the wall,
Where is he?
but I found he's right here in the black, in the blackness.
Oh yeah, so he is.
I glitched him through a wall.
Well done.
I found a glitch in your programming.
There we go. Was it the
glitched
same
again.
cat?
It was a speed run
Yes.
strategy. I skipped the whole dungeon.
Yeah, I ignore walls now. Great game. Yeah, so there's that screaming that echoes from down there. Yeah.
I say let's go that way. It sounds like that's where the action is.
Let's have a look.
After all, we are on the hunt for someone specific down here. I think this could very well be where he retreated to.
Yeah, you note that there appears to be sort of like a fierce orange glow that is gleaming from like a passageway that goes off to the right when you look down this long corridor here. Obsidian, you make your way around, and as you arrive there, you can see a figure in strange, sleek red-looking armor round the corner, who appears to be raising up a hammer and ting, 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 and bringing it down. But you only catch glimpses as you peer into what looks like a smithy of some kind, a makeshift smithy.
Yeah. Not very keen on this idea, but still.
Runic is just going to manifest a brief power.
Oh, okay.
I want to explore it, but I don't know how. So if you have something, have at it. Yeah, dude.
This is more of a self buff, as Runic is hearing this, and you can see it's weird, but he looks healthier.
Oh, no way. Does he now?
He looks fresher of skin. For lack of a better description, he's manifested a power called Vigor upon himself.
Ooh, cool, okay. It's nice that we're going to have to get used to all of these new abilities. Interesting.
Interesting indeed.
So yeah, you're just standing there just outside the door, and Obsidian, after a while you hear the hammer falls just go tink, tink. And they stop, and you see
Sounds like-
the figure that you're sort of just able to see has just stopped moving and is just standing dead still.
I will stand here, like, against the wall.
Okay, are you making any attempt to hide or anything, or are you just like?
Well, I'm not stepping around the corner. I'm against the wall, so like I haven't shown myself. I stepped in the wrong place. I can see him, but I didn't mean to. So sort of here, like against the wall, back to the wall, and I'm just going, not peering round the corner or anything. What do people say in this sort of thing? Who goes there?
You sort of like
Classic.
get the glimpse of
Classic
like
for a reason.
you looking round, and like the figure stops. You note that it wears kind of like a long sweeping cloak behind it, and it appears to also be wearing a helm. But from gaps in the helm, you can't help but notice two terrifying curled horns that reach back from its head around its skull, decorated and warlike. And as you say who goes there, you just hear like a soft chuckle. It is an apt question. An apt question indeed. If you are able to behold me, that says more about you than I. Step into the light, stranger.
We'll say, Obsidian will say, most that dwell down here in the dark, we would consider our enemy. Do you count yourself among them?
I do not think I know you enough to know. He lifts up what he has been tempering on the anvil. You see that there is like a really stark looking black dagger in his hand. And like you sort of like peering around the corner and like you see him sort of like look at it very closely through like dark eyes in his helm. And then he lifts it up and it flies across the room. And you see on the other side where the light is coming from, there is heat from his blacksmith's forge, but that heat is nothing in comparison to the great chest that stands on the far side of the room that is on fire. A flaming chest. The chest opens up and there is a harrowing scream of hundreds of voices that just echo from the chest as the blade goes into the chest and boom, slams shut again. You feel like a draft of hot air pass across you as the chest shuts, and the figure in a blinking of an eye is across the room to face you. And he says through pointed teeth, I am the Dogai. And who might you be?
I am known as Obsidian.
Then perhaps we should become better acquainted. Come. Oh, don't be shy. I sense you have friends close by.
What manner of creature are you that dwells in such a place?
A bold one you are. I wonder. Can you give me a will save as the creature will attempt something like reaching into your mind, Bogram?
Okay. $22.
It is not good enough.
Might be 24 if it's sleep, stun, paralysis, poison, or disease, but it's probably not.
It is not. He will look upon you and he says, I see you far more clearly. And he begins speaking to you in infernal Obsidian, for he has learned that that deep language is written into your knowledge.
Yes, it is.
And because of that, you can now give me a knowledge arcana, please, to see if you can sort of like piece together what he's saying.
28. That's much better.
Yeah, this dialect of Infernal is kind of lays plain to you what this thing is. The Dogai. You heard the tales of agents of the Nine Hells somehow becoming free of those terrible bonds that draw them into that torturous plane of existence and go freelance. The Dogai are assassin devils, and this one in particular, has a taste for hiding in dungeons and deep places of the world where only those capable are able to find them, shall we say, where he will meet the most discerning clientele.
Interesting.
Please, don't be shy. Do invite your friends inside. I understand that it was you that was creating the commotion beyond.
I'll enter.
Yes. Come forth. Step into the light. He moves back to his forge, giving you space to enter.
That's a hot chest.
Whoa! Your chest is on fire.
I see you have taken note of my finest work. It is where I keep the most precious of belongings. Belongings that I take, belongings that I earn. And belongings that I trade. I wonder, do you have anything worthwhile in trade? Something that would inspire a collector's inspiration.
It's possible we might. What manner of items do you deal in? What do you have to trade?
Powerful ones. But I am not selling at this time, only buying. What is it that you have?
Only buying.
For now. I have to see that you'll be capable of giving what I offer a good home. And not die immediately down the next corridor. This is a place of great evil. It is enjoyable to bask within.
This is a place of great danger, certainly.
Yes.
What is beyond? Do you have anything to let us know about?
There is plenty that I could share with you. But for free. I'm afraid I only work in deals. What would you offer me for such knowledge of what lies beyond?
Huh. We don't have a lot, actually.
No, we sold the majority of what we had.
That's a toughie, isn't it?
We've got the written world, but I wouldn't like to give that to him.
No, absolutely not. I'd like to explore there eventually when I'm feeling, particularly invigorated.
We have these furry outfits.
I mean, I got some prime visionaries root.
I would be intrigued by the outfits of the beasts.
Oh, really?
Is that the shift weave though? Doesn't he want? Is he wants the shift weave?
No, we've got the actual outfits of the Savage Doom. We've got a possum and we've got a horse.
Outfits of Savage Doom.
I would have them if you would part with them.
Outfits worn by men who did great evil.
Yeah. I mean, we have no use for them, so
We have
If you want
absolutely no use for them.
Is that so? Then I shall have them.
in return for what?
Well, they aren't exactly the most abundant treasures in that little collection of yours.
No.
I would know.
Why would you know? Did you look into young Obsidian's brain?
I have to say that when such valuables are left at my doorstep, it would be foolish if some valuables go unnoticed.
But you didn't just take them.
No. But there was one prize among your collection that I must confess have taken a shine to. One that you shall find difficult to get a fair price for in these earthly lands.
The body of a snow elf.
And what is it that you had your eye on?
Yes, I looked upon the body of that fallen elf. Strange and at peace he was. I closed his eyes for him.
What is it you covet?
There is a ring in your possession of great worth. I should have it.
There is?
The shield rings.
Ah. The rings of great worth. They are of great
That you
worth.
would not find any merchant willing to be able to part with enough royalty for it. But royalty, what we're talking about, wealth. I can offer you much. Much.
We'll speak it, and we will consider it.
Perhaps you would take the equivalent in coin, and all of a sudden, like behind him, you can see golden coins beginning to fall from the helmet slots of the great statues that stand either side of him for a second, but then it's gone. Or perhaps you covet something else. Something of equal value. I shall hold residence here for a time, so if that is something that you wish to consider, you may return to me. But do not tarry for too long.
I see. You take requests then.
Of course I take requests. I have access to the riches of many realms. That is, as I said, my chief and most glorious work. And the chest opens again and screams, hundreds and thousands of screams echoing into the room, and then shuts. It makes the caller of the darkness sound like a... well, not as loud.
Well, we can certainly make some inquiries.
Very good. And you would part with your fluffy garments in return for some information of some kind. I have a great desire for them now.
And why is that?
They amuse me.
If you wish.
I will have the horse.
The meme horse.
It shall be mine.
I don't remember what the horse was called.
Meme horse.
Meme horse?
It's 'cause
Yeah,
it's
it was
the
a
same
meme horse.
Memes.
Oh, God. Okay, sure, he can have the horse.
Bring it forth.
I don't think it'll suit you.
You would place it upon the anvil.
I thought you were going to say on your head then.
We'll place it upon the anvil for sure.
The chest rips open once again. There is a scream as the meme horse costume lifts into the air and is licked with flames before it is dragged across the room and vanishes into the chest. Boom! Lid goes down. I will answer you one question of the dangers that lie ahead.
You have strange tastes. One question. I want to know if Grin is down here.
Yeah, that's as good a question as any.
Ah, you speak of the
The
peculiar...
one obsessed with teeth.
Yes, yes, I have seen this creature. He delights me. Yes.
He irritates us.
He irks us. He haunts our dreams. Is
Yes.
he down here?
He was. He does not linger here, as I can see. But the Dogai does not see everything. But the Dogai does see much.
Anything fun you'd like to share?
Perhaps I would, for that shiny ball. He looks at the crystal that hovers at your shoulder.
No.
You don't want that, Chris. It's got an attitude problem.
It stays with me.
I'd be happy to go with him.
Was that you? The crystal said that. What a tricky crystal.
Crystal doesn't seem to like you very much, Runic.
Lingering in this company and going into a hellish chest. Why? There's no comparison.
Boren will talk later. You're not going with it.
All you do is talk. When was the last time you acted, Runic?
Listen here, you little shit. No, I'm just gonna.
I like him very much. If you change your mind, you know where I am, at least for a time, dwarf. I have such respect for your kind, for you among all the mortal races of the worlds, have such a eye for craftsmanship. I could endow upon you a craftsmanship the likes you had not seen for the price of that ring. Or any of you. But perhaps that is something you should dwell upon. If you do not have an answer for me now, then I shall have to continue with my work, lest I become bored.
Well.
Very well. We shall return if we consider your offer worthwhile.
Please do. And ensure that it is only you that return. If you bring any others with you, then I might act regretfully out of surprise.
What others? Very well.
You will not share that you have encountered me here, will you?
Who would believe us?
Yes. Yes, I suppose you're right. The Dogai is a mysterious force. Be on your way. I look forward to your return.
Let's go.
And as you continue up the corridor, you hear a... and then a... Ka-ting! Ting! Ting! You get to the end. Yes, you get to the end of the corridor, and there is seemingly a there's a way there. I do apologize. I just need to check something. Actually, hang on. Let's have a look. That shouldn't be secret. There is a big door there, and this door is massive, sculpted from like a black metal, or rather it is now black, charred with some kind of detestable magical power by the looks of it. You can give me a... It's your vision on all the time, isn't it, Ansel?
Basically, any point if there's anything interesting, I think it's fair to say.
Well, I kind of botched that then, didn't I? So there, you can tell that there is something magical about this. There appears to be some kind of magical effect on this door. And there appears to be
I'll
a
look
narrow
with the
walkway.
I mean, to be fair, actually, the other day I did say, I think that pretty much it would be on while in the...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
forgot.
that you just scan most things, so that's fine. You can see then that, yeah, there is some kind of magical enchantment upon the door, a very powerful one. A protective ward is upon the door. And there is a chamber that lies next to you off the side of the corridor as well.
Be careful of the door. There is something warding it. I'll say to my companions, what's around the corner?
Yeah, you peer in, and there appears to be a giant pillar. But any more than that, you can't tell from that angle, really.
Does look very interesting. Very interesting. I'll enter.
A giant pillar, and at the top of it there is a great metallic cog, a tarnished image of the sun god sigil is atop this big pillar, and there are two mechanical cranks either side of it that lead up with chains around it. It appears to be some kind of mechanism activated by the turning of two wheels.
Does it look magical or mundane in nature?
So it does look magical, and the magical essence appears to be mirrored by the door. Yeah, it has the same kind of...
This could be the key to the lock.
Could be. Does the door look like one that opens away, or like a shutter? Does it look like it has a join?
Yeah, this one would look like that it would swing. It would
Swing open, right? Okay.
out. Ordinarily,
Okay.
but there appears to be this magical force around it that only the deftest of examinations would reveal, unless you have magical powers like Ansel does.
Is there anything else in the room, or is it just the pillar?
Just the pillar. Well, there appears to be a number of old bookcases in there as well. Moth-eaten tomes lining the walls. There is a weapon rack and an old broken writing desk. The drawers of which appear to have been emptied out onto the floor. Parchment is scattered underneath it.
Shall we try cranking the cranks?
Sorry. Let's have a quick look at the writing desk and see if there's any notes or any bits of writing left anywhere. Or,
Yeah,
like drawers
you can give
or
me a search check.
the whole thing. Seven. Yeah, my search is terrible.
Oh dear.
Anyone else? Take a look at this. I don't see anything.
Neither do I.
I mean, I feel
okay.
like 50.
Ansel, you're peering down and you see that there is like the odd bit of like writing that you can make out, though faded and rotted away from years of neglect. But it appears to be talking about the sort of like the pillar with the cranks, and it says two pillars raised up in reverence of the mighty sun god, and only by the leave of him shall the way be opened. So effectively, two pillars, and you've discovered one of them.
Yes. So we could crank one, but we'd still need to find the other.
Yeah. And you do appear, there does appear to have some kind of warding magic, the same as the door, and it, doesn't
this whole thing went off in the other direction as well, back out the room that we were in.
Yeah,
All the way over.
Yeah, you get the sense that this place is pretty damn big. In fact, as I've zoomed out now, it kind of shows it a little bit of the space that we're talking about. Yeah.
There could be some symmetry. This is all leading to a sort of central chamber beyond the door, which means that the other pillar would be way over the other side somewhere, possibly.
So if this paper is telling the truth, the cranks would need to, or the pillars would need to be activated to open the way ahead. That's effectively what it's telling me. So that's kind of giving you an objective if you want to proceed into locked parts of this fallen Temple of Pelor.
What do we think, boys?
Well, we need to get through.
Yeah, I mean, we do need to continue. So, let's try, I suppose.
Yes.
Was there another door down this way?
Yes.
There was one there. Yeah, there was one central.
Yeah,
back at the start.
and then one off where this way. But like I say, it all looks sort of like it could very well be symmetrical. So if we come off this way, there might be another pillar on the map all the way up over here, part through more chambers. So should we backtrack and carry on round and see if there is another pillar? Do you want to work? So I was about to say work this pillar then, and that just sounds really wrong.
Like the pole.
Activate this pillar.
Yeah.
Do you want to try?
Yeah.
Let's give it a go. You guys probably be better at this. I'm on a minus for strength, so I am but an old man.
I can give it a go if you.
Do it together.
Yeah. Suffer the consequences. Yeah, we'll try and activate the cranks, I
You're
suppose.
just gonna turn them.
Yeah, unless it looks like you need to do something else. There's
Yeah, no, they look fairly simplistic. Mechanical construction. Yeah, turn the cog. So both you and Runic will attempt this. Did you say that was you two doing it?
yeah.
Okay. Can you both give me a D6 roll, please?
Two.
Runic,
5.
You take hold of the crank and you start turning it. And you're turning it lefty loosey, righty tighty. You start turning it in the correct direction. Ansel, you see that is definitely the way that you should be turning this crank. However, as you grab hold of this, you think, I'm going to turn it the other way. And so Runic and Obsidian, you watch as Ansel is just desperately trying to turn this cog in a way that it won't go. Like you watch him for minutes, just like straining,
Ansel,
like going red in the face, trying to turn this the wrong way.
What are you doing?
It's definitely this way.
But it isn't. Turn it the other way.
Other way.
Can I turn it the other way, or
That's a very good question. Roll a d6 for me, please.
Oh god, this is some magical effect, isn't it?
4?
Yes, you can. You go, yes, I know exactly the way. I know the way that it is.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Right, so you start now, and now unfortunately you have to do it again. So Runic, can you roll a d6, please?
Maybe not.
God.
You then turn around and Runic starts doing exactly what Ansel was doing, straining, desperately trying to pull this lever in a way that it just won't go.
Wait a minute.
Some sort of magic is warping your mind.
It would appear some form of magic is warping your mind. Yes, it's an apt observation.
How, Ansel, you can see, how powerful is this magic? How powerful of an emanation is it?
Yeah, I can take a look. For a few seconds.
Yeah, so it's just time that it takes you to learn how powerful something is, right? Just a concentrated like examination.
Yeah, it gives you
Yeah.
an idea of.
We're talking mid to high level protection magic here. This isn't something to be sniffed at all. This is something that is powerful.
Because I could try to dispel it. I could try a targeted dispel on the pillar.
Yeah.
Will that dispel the effect it has on the door as well, though?
I don't know. I feel like the pillar's maybe just got protection on it to stop you from turning it. I don't know whether the pillar is a mechanical thing that works the door, surely.
You can do a knowledge arcana, each of you, if you have it, to make that differentiation. We'll see if there's a clue there.
Oh,
Yeah.
roll 20 is not being kind tonight at all.
No, not ideal.
No, it's not.
12.
8.
Oh my
The
god!
dwarves are rolling so much better.
The dwarfs have immeasurable wisdom and skill and prowess in
The
combat.
dwarves were doing much better than we.
The level 3
suck in
dwarves. Wow. Okay. Yeah. This is definitely all part of the same thing. This magic that is affecting you, to your mind, is intrinsically linked with the device.
Yeah, in which case I shan't dispel it then, because we're dumb.
Let's just try again.
One last time.
Yeah, go ahead, try again, Runic. Just try and turn it the other way. Turn it the other way.
Yes.
Turn it that way, Runic. Okay?
Runic
no.
does it the right way.
Runic.
Ansel sadly starts turning it the wrong way again.
Ansel!
Why don't you try Obsidian if you know how to do it?
You and me.
Yeah, but Roll20 hates me anyway. Go on, I'll give it a go.
You and me. Come on.
Okay, ready? On 3, 2, 1, go. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Like
See,
this.
it's not so easy. Oh.
As you both toil together, both of them begin turning round and round and round and round, and then suddenly a deafening sound just echoes from the pillar as you trigger the magical alarm upon it. The sound echoes loudly through the hallway. A ghastly, awful sound. And it just continues wailing on and on and on.
Oh, God.
Well.
That is not ambient background noise. Now what do we do? This is just...
Turn it off.
I wouldn't.
Maybe it
wanna
needs to
try.
ring.
Maybe it needs to be going off whilst you do the other one, because it says there's 2, doesn't it? So let's go find the other pillar. Come on, let's go.
So you begin rushing around the corridor, and as you do so, I'd like you to make a listen check, please.
No, I can't do that.
14.
18. Thank you very much.
Obsidian, you are the one to hear the confusion. No, I'm so sorry. That isn't enough. I'm so sorry. All you hear is the alarm going off. You run out of the door. Runic,
The best
Ansel,
listen check I've ever rolled.
I know, I'm
It's
so
not
sorry.
enough.
Runic and Ansel, I need you to roll a d6 for me, please.
Three.
4.
Ansel, you run the correct way out of the room. Runic, you run into the wall.
Well, that's handy because Borin is stuck in the wall.
You moron, he says. Bogram, Bogram and Ansel, you can give me a you can give me a knowledge arcana. No, sorry, not a knowledge arcana. A spellcraft check, please.
I believe that's the same. Nope, it's one less. 20.
27.
Ansel, you're the first to realise. You sort of like suddenly suss out exactly what's happened to you. You can't help but feel a little bit confused, Ansel. And I'm so sorry. Obsidian, you need to make it as well because you also touched the device. Can you roll a d6 for me, please?
I did, yeah.
I forgot that you touched it as well.
1.
Obsidian, you run into the wall. The three of you...
Does that mean, I'm still in the room?
You run back into the room, yeah. The three of you suddenly realise, are under the effect of a confusion effect created by the spell Guards and Wards. You basically have a 50% chance of doing something incorrectly. Run down the corridor, you'll run the other way. Turn a lever, you'll pull it the other way.
What? Guards and Wards is such a pain in the arse spell, man.
And suddenly it seems to you all
hate
that
it.
actually, that the corridor that you're in actually has many different exits, many different passageways spiraling before each of you. And as the alarm continues to sound, and the screams of both the caller in the dark, the Dogai in the corridor beyond, and something else begin to stir as all evil is awakened within the temple, and that is, I think, is where we will leave it for this session tonight.
Guards and Wards. Oh my god. I know that spell ever so well.
Confusion is a
I
nightmare.
hate it.
It is
Yeah.
a nightmare.
All the other things Guards and Wards does, I'm not looking forward to it. Oh god. They're so harsh. We're never escaping, ever.
So, with that then, quite an eventful session, and we will round off tonight's session once again by doing what we always do. We will ask for the final thought of the session, and as the newcomer with Runic, then let's start with Mike. What are your thoughts of the session as we finish tonight?
Yeah, I think Runic's got a few questions, seeing what happened earlier at the session. But, you know, he's at this point, he's helping out as a freelancer and he's taking as much as he can on his chin. But although he had a slight heads up about some matters, this is alarming, shall we say.
Yes. Very good. Yes, it is
We
alarming.
will see.
I imagine it must be quite disturbing for an outsider to be introduced to the strangers their way.
They are, yes.
Yeah, they're a bit disconcerting.
They are
They're a bit unusual.
They are a bit unusual. Okay, then, Matt, any final thoughts at the end of the session? Any thoughts to share?
Well, the dwarves, it was mental, but I do kind of love the dwarves. Of course.
Yeah.
I'm very curious about Runic, although I think I have a strong inkling as to what class he's gone with, and to what he's sort of about, but not character-wise, just class-wise. And story-wise, I keep having a thing. I'm starting to feel like it keeps coming up that Obsidian is being an asshole. Going off and risking his life all the time with his poor wife and 2 children, 2 young children. And he's just like, fuck him. Goes off and does it, and everyone keeps pointing it out to him, and I'm not sure.
I'm doing it for the kids, he says, as he puts his life in.
Itself story-wise. At the moment, it doesn't matter, because things we're taking care of are all happening within Valdemar, so that's fine, but like... Upon the leaving of Valdemar again, I'm not sure how that's going to sort of play out, genuinely, as I've never written a character like that before. So, yeah, I suppose there's a reason why most adventurers tend to be emotionally damaged loners, because otherwise, you're just being an arse. Stop it. So, yeah, that's sort of playing on my mind at the moment. Like, what am I going to do about that?
Interesting one, because imagine you're in the situation of the strangers. Imagine we're in that situation where just us 4 are told, you know, the world's going to end.
Yeah.
And if you have the power to stop that, is it not your responsibility? As Brogram said in the sessions of UBAT, is it not my responsibility to try and make it a better world for you to live in? Or is it actually your responsibility to remain with them? It is a tough one, and I look forward to exploring it further.
It really is. I'm very curious as to how that will play out. Like I said, I've never had to make a decision like that with a character before. I will always try and play true to the character, you know, like not necessarily what I want. I'll just play it as the character would do it. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Spot on, man. And Dom, final thoughts of the session?
Yeah, I mean, I fucking loved the curveball you threw us at the start. That was awesome. In terms of Ansel, he's obviously sad and now confused, which is delightful. And with the Obsidian thing, man, it's you know, families are tricky, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yep.
Deadbeat dad. Deadbeat dad.
My son on the swing in the rain.
Obviously Ansel has opinions on that, but
yeah, I loved your comment there from Ansel. I loved when you said people like Silastra and I will not be mourned, whereas in your case you are different. I love the way you worded it. It was fantastic, Dom. I just thought that's fucking poetry. Loved it very much. Yeah, I mean, with the introduction, like I said, like I wanted to equip Runic with something that would make him useful to the strangers. He has a shared experience that his adventure has also begun with a gate, just on a different side of the world. So at least he has that to link you, because I always find that the tricky thing with introducing new characters is, well, why would they continue together? But at least Runic has, like, there's a few reasons, like, logically, but we need to see whether or not that takes place emotionally as well, and if Runic will want to stick with them after being introduced to the fucking horror show that is your party. And yeah, I just want to give props to you, Mike. Yeah, really nice introduction. We didn't get to have too much delving into Runic, but I think it would be natural if you just spouted, "This is me and this is my backstory." The second you're in. So
you got a bit of Runic, and you got a bit of Borin as well. I like Borin.
I like Borin too. Are we going to hold back on information about Borin as well? I think we should maybe eke that out, or is that? Yeah, we should at
As
least
it
do it
comes
in-game.
up.
Yeah.
As it comes up.
Borin's great, and I'm glad that he is the way he is. And that was through no control of any of us, which is quite funny.
I think, once again, I think it's a class that I've played a similar, akin one, so I have an idea of what he is, and it's very. I love how he's come out. It's very cool. Yeah, he's very funny. I like him.
I look forward to playing him more. But there we are. I think that's where we'll leave it. What we'll do now is we'll talk about XP. We'll also talk about how we're going to do that random loot as well, because there is some stuff in there that is predetermined that was always going to be in that chest, and there's going to be some random goodies as well. But we'll talk about that off the stream, as well as XP as usual. So for those watching live and after the fact, thank you ever so much for joining us once again, joining the Strangers, and a new member joined the Strangers, sort of. And Knights of the Apocalypse. If you like this video, give it a like. If you'd like to see more like it, then give it a subscribe. Thanks for dropping by if you watch live as well. And all that remains for us to say is... roll them bones.
Roll 'em, man.
It's taking its sweet time. Taking its sweet time.